Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Saturday night, Politi-tics night. Are you ready to get politi-tickled? If so, join me and, of course, the host on the side with the most, Amanda.
Howdy, Untethered Live. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I don't know if you saw it or not, but you got a nice little community post just for you. It's out there. How's everybody doing? Did you get lots of chocolates? Did you make out? Did you get the little bang bang? Chicka bang bang? You know what I'm saying? If not, did you stay home and watch movies? Anyway, I'm over here just chilling out, having a good time. Who's first in chat? It's going to be a night. It's going to be a night. I can feel it.
He's going to be a night.
It's going to be a night. I got my boxing gloves.
Woo-hoo.
I'm ready. I got my mouth guard. Although I don't think I'll need it.
Got your fan kicking.
I got my fan kicking. Thank you. Got a nice hot cup of coffee. Don't you want to have a cup of coffee with me? There's some new stuff in the links down below. Go check them out. But you can get this cup. It has the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on it. It has my face on the other side. It's fantastic. If you get the first one. The other one just has Bible Study logo. But we have tumblers too. But there's some new stuff down there. It's a thing. It's a YouTube thing. They just gave me the permission to use it. So I'm checking it out. It's that simple. I don't know if it's any good or not, but go look. See what you like. If you don't like it, kick it aside and we won't ever do it again. Like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you'd like to show a little bit of love. If you want to, you can do that by going to CashApp, $JakeJohnsonBand, or PayPal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. I greatly appreciate that very much. And if you want to tell us all about your Valentine's Day, share everything, every juicy detail. You can do that over at Facebook.com/UntetheredLiveChillin'. The link is in the chat. It's a great place to hang out, share pictures, videos, text memes, and get to know each other. It has a private group chat over there where you all can talk to each other quasi-privately. There's nobody else there but us, Untethered Live people only. That's it. It's yours. And also, there's videos over there, updated regularly, that are adjacent to or concerning directly the things we talk about over here. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's free. It's yours. Go check it out. And now, who's first in chat? Judy, is that you? Are you first in chat? Hi, Judy. Judy says, hey, Jake and Amanda. Hi, you get the gold star for being first in chat.
Judy, here's your gold star.
Amy says, hi, Judy. And I'm not going to make it the whole night through, the whole way through. I took some meds. I do that all the time. You'll be fine. Oh, wait. Hi, Jake, Amanda, and Untethered Live family. And everyone lurking. I hope you had a good Valentine's Day. I hope you had a good Valentine's Day, too. Happy Valentine's Day. Somebody ought to have bought you some chocolates or something, right? Flowers, chocolates. Something. Did anybody buy you chocolates?
I got dinner and chocolates.
How about that?
Wow. I was shocked.
What did you have for dinner?
I had Mexican.
Yeah? Did you enjoy it or you farting a lot?
No, that's you.
Sounds like a good dinner.
I'm standing over here rocking your belly and farting all over the place.
Hey.
And chocolates.
Amy says, the sleepy eye on the bottle, the meds you took, yeah, those are the good ones. That's the ones that do the job.
Right.
I hope they do the job. And Judy says, hey, Amy, how are you? Linda's here. Happy Valentine's Day, Linda. She says, happy Valentine's Day, heart. Nice to see you. I hope you had a great day.
Hi, Linda. Happy Valentine's Day.
I learned this from the kids. I think it means, I have an aorta problem or something. Something like that.
It means you walk around with your heart in your hand.
All right. Judy says, hey, Linda. And Judy says, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you, too. Amy says, hi, Judy, and hi, Linda.
There's your gold star, Judy.
Linda says, hi, Judy. I heard from Nugget today, too. I told him we love him and miss him. Well, there you go. Amy says, Judy, I'm heavily sedated. She wants you all to know that she is drugged to the masses. She's in her trailer, drooling on the floor and looking at kitty pictures. Speaking in a language she can only understand. But she'll be okay. Judy says, are you feeling any better, Amy?
She's not feeling
real good right about now.
She's not feeling anything. Judy, Amy, Linda, Hamburger Helper Hand, and Happy Valentine's Day.
Hamburger helper and the rice-a-roni treat. And Judy says, thanks for that. Did he sound okay? I got a Valentine from him. Well, that's nice of him. Amy says, I checked on Nugget too. And Judy says, thanks, Amy. Amanda.
Hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all.
Camel.
No. Happy Valentine's Day. Now you do your little heart thing. Happy Valentine's Day, yeah. Hiya, Jake. How are you tonight?
Trying to get my heart symmetrical.
You gotta do your fingers better. There you go.
I
It's hard to do when you're holding a cigarette.
have a leaky ventricle.
And there's the chilling page if anybody's interested.
Linda says, I hope he realizes how much we love him and he will come around. Well, see, the problem is when you get Trump derangement syndrome, you lose your sense of reality. That seems to be happening to a lot of people. It is a cult. It is a virus. It is contagious. You need to be careful around those people because you'll catch it too. And unfortunately, when you go away and you forsake your friends over some ideological point, it's kind of hard to come back from that. I hate it, but that's the way it is. I was never anything but nice to that guy. I didn't even know we were in an argument. I didn't even know he was angry. He just stormed out. It happens.
He was mad over the comment that was taken out of context because they clearly didn't watch the whole story.
What content?
About the British and the Americans or something about the people with the military being on the front lines.
That I said?
No, it was something that Trump supposedly said.
So why is he angry at me?
But it was picked. It was picked. It was taken out of context, like it usually is, and that is not what he said. We had more boots on the ground. Of course, we had more stuff going on. There wasn't as many of the other countries up there helping us.
I don't know. I must have missed that one.
It happened a few weeks back.
But I'm usually not involved in the thing people get angry at me about. So I'm used to it.
But I mean, you had to see the whole interview to understand what he was talking about, not just what was played in the clip.
Amy says, Valentine's Day. I want to speak to the manager because I be caring about you.
Good, Amy.
That's a good one. I told a joke too. Let's see if you get it. Judy says, I hope he figures out what the problem is. I hope so too. Maybe he'll come around. Maybe he won't. I've had this happen before. People leave for silly reasons. I can't do anything about that. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I offered my friendship. If that wasn't enough, I can't do better. Just know that I won't run and turn my back on somebody if I disagree with you. That's not going to happen. So, I don't know. They teach friendship different when I was growing up, I guess.
Yeah, we were allowed to disagree and still be friends at the end of the day.
Judy says, LOL, Amy. Amanda says,
LOL, Amy.
And Linda says, yeah, I got a bone to pick with it too, Amy. My beautiful daughter got broken up with today. Oh, no. On Valentine's Day, couldn't wait till tomorrow or yesterday. But I wasn't happy with the way he had been treating her for the past few months. Well, he shouldn't have been there that long then. That's terrible. I'm sorry that she got broke up with on Valentine's Day, though. That's tough. She realizes it's not her, right? Some guys are just jerks. And Judy says, wow, how rude is that, Linda? I guess that happens a lot. Any word from your stalker? You have a stalker? Oh, yeah, that's right. You do have a stalker. Yeah, how's that going? Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie. Hamburger helper hand. Judy says, hey, Debbie. And Linda says, no word, which is good. That's excellent. And dispose of anybody. That's good.
Right.
Oh. Judy says, thank God, still sending prayers. Amen. Linda says, hamburger help her hand, Debbie. Aaron, what's up, brother? He says, I talk to John almost daily. He's doing fine. Good.
Aaron, hamburger up her hand.
Happy Valentine's Day. Judy says, hey, Aaron. Aaron says, hey, walking from my kid's house. All right. Get some exercise in. It's good for you. Good for your joints. And Judy says, thanks for that, Aaron. And Linda says, hamburger help her hand, Aaron. Aaron says, I fixed that unfixable thing today, and now everybody's happy in the ride. In the ride functions better than it did before.
Well, when it can suck as much water as it's supposed to, when it's supposed to, I would imagine it'd feel better, yeah.
Yep.
Usually if you suck things right, they feel better.
If at first you don't succeed, keep
suck
on sucking till you do
succeed.
succeed. And Judy says, yay, does that mean you can stay, Aaron? Was they going to fire him if he didn't fix it?
I think she meant stay with us tonight.
And Judy says, yes, it was me. It was you what? Yay, does that mean you can stay, Aaron? Yes, it was me. I don't know what you're talking about. Amy says, hi, Aaron, kissy face. Aaron says, hi, Amy. Space Diamond 18 says, hello. Hello, Space Diamond. Welcome back. Long time no see. How you doing? Happy Valentine's Day. Amy says, my internet keeps dropping off, and so do I. And hi, everybody. If I missed you. You just keep nodding in and out, honey. Everything's fine.
Right.
We got it under control.
Oh, she's on a roll now.
Thank you very much.
She must have kicked in. It must have kicked in to where she's haha funny now.
And God bless you, sweetie. Amy says, oh, I read that one. Amanda says, diamond.
Hi, Diamond. Help her up her hand.
Like a sky, like a diamond.
She's been here before. It's been a while.
Like a diamond. There's a song about diamonds, but
Yes,
I can't
there is.
remember what it is now.
You were right.
I know, but I can't remember the words or who sang it. It's just floating around in my head.
Shine bright like a diamond.
That's it. Shine bright like a diamond. Aaron says, driving while on troll patrol. I thought you were walking.
Now he's
Make
driving.
up your mind.
He don't know.
You said 5 minutes ago you were walking from your kid's house. Now you're driving? What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm being deceived?
He might have been walking from his kid's house. Now
Maybe he's walking to the
his
car,
house
yeah.
and got his car.
Right. Amy says, hi, Space. And the doctor said, I have a kidney infection. Ooh. They gave me a shot at the hospital, drew blood, ran some tests, took a nap, and the pain has eased up. More tests to be run. Well, the kidney infection ain't no joke, so take care of that. Drink lots of fluid.
Get you some cranberry pills. Or if you like cranberry juice.
Space Diamond says, sorry, I may have missed it, but who do you support? Well, what are you talking about?
Political Trump.
That's a random question to ask somebody that you haven't spoke to in quite a while,
Well,
considering the conversation was about kidney infections and people driving from their kid's house. I support Aaron from driving from his kid's house. Damn the bitch with the kidney infections. How's that? That make you feel good? What are you talking about?
we were talking political when she put that question in there.
Were we? I don't remember talking about political anything yet. I ain't even got wound up yet.
Clearly.
I guess the answer to your question is Trump.
Yes, I said Trump.
Judy says, you did your best, Jake. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. And I did. I mean, I've never mean to that guy. I don't think I ever even had a disagreement with him. I didn't even know he was against Trump. If I tell you anything, I saw a couple of Facebook posts, but I wasn't entirely sure it was the same guy because it's a different name. And I thought it was him, but I wasn't sure. But I don't care what his political beliefs are. Don't know why he cares what mine are.
I'll say Fab Daddy don't like it either, but he still cares and comes.
Right. I'm friends with people that are on the other side of the aisle.
And we've had it out with Dennis quite a few times, and he still comes.
I spent the whole night last night arguing with Monkey Juice, and he'll be here tonight.
Probably.
I don't get it, but people are just different, I guess. Space Diamond says, oh, yeah, you're in that kind of place. That's right. Sit there and sweat.
Nah.
Judy says, something. Hang on.
Judy said, hey, Diamond.
Hey, Diamond.
Space Diamond says, y'all are nice people. I just disagree with him and his party.
Well, what
Sad
do you
face.
specifically disagree with? This is a political night, so come prepared or sit and listen.
I said, well, you're allowed to disagree here.
Right? What is your disagreement? What is it that you disagree about? How do you know you disagree with me? You don't even know what I think.
She's talking about Trump.
Aaron says Amy is high off her pickle injection that I gave her. Oof.
Damn it, man.
You gave her a pickle injection, eh?
Uh-huh.
Those can be fun. The retraction is more fun, though. Injection, retraction, injection, retraction, injection, retraction. Get my point? Linda says she is good, Jake. I'm raising a strong woman. Oh, I know you are. I know you are, but still, it helps to know. It's nice when people reaffirm your what's the word I'm looking for? When people pat you on the head and tell you you're okay, even though you know it already. It feels good. Amy says, shh, that's our deal, Aaron. Fab Daddy, what's up? We were just talking about you. Fab Daddy says, so do I, Space Diamond, and yes, these are good people, just different. That's right. Amy says, all's good. We're kosher. Hey, hey. There'll be none of that anti-Semitism here. This is a political night. How dare you? 6 million pickles. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Hamburger have a hand, Fab. LOL, Amy.
Linda says, hey, Fab. Heart. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, everybody. And Judy says, hey, Fab. Fab Daddy says, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day back at you. I hope you got laid. Or whatever it is you kids are calling it. Judy says, different and proud of it, Fab. LOL. Amen. I identify as the person who's writing this conversation.
Right.
Linda says, Debbie, let Kevin out of the basement. Amy says, I like Trump, but I don't love Trump. He says some stupid shit sometimes. He makes mistakes, but he truly loves this country. Agreed, as do all people. The only difference is, and I'm going to lay it out here for you to see it. The only difference is that when Trump makes a mistake, he admits that he made a mistake. He does it openly. I don't mean he admits it like he says, I'm sorry. I mean, he does it in front of you. Whereas the other side will make mistakes and then dare you to call it a mistake. Double down, triple down, quadruple down, and swear that it's the right thing.
And
everybody knows it's wrong, but you can't say it. That's the difference.
Yeah, you didn't see what you saw.
Right. At least with Trump, you know what you get. He's a man. All people that do that job are men. They make mistakes. It's impossible to do that job in the first place. There's so many things coming at you at one time. The fact that he has any good record at all is a testament to what kind of person he is. You don't have to like him. Being president ain't about being liked. It's about running the country efficiently. I don't like Trump. I wouldn't hang out with that guy. But I would damn sure have him run my country. I mean, 9 months, no illegal immigrants come over the border. Not one. 9 months. That's something. Remember, 3 years ago, people were saying it's impossible. How are you going to close the border? The president don't have the power to do that. He did it on day one, but never mind that. Judy says, totally agree, Amy. Hang on, my chat jumped. All right. Aaron says, I walked from their house to the clubhouse to my car, and now I'm driving home from there. I know, I was just teasing you, buddy. Dakota Wright says, Happy Valentine's Day, friends. Happy Valentine's to you too, Dakota. How are you?
Hamburger helper hand, Dakota.
Linda says, Dakota, hi, hamburger upper hand. Dakota says, Happy Valentine's Day, Amanda. And Judy says, hey, Dakota.
Thank you. You too.
Amy says, Dakota. Hey. Right on. Debbie says, Linda, Kevin is tied up right now. He should be here shortly. There's Mabel. Mabel says, ciao, everybody. Jake and Amanda, how are you? Hey. How are you? Long time no see. How was your trip? How are things? How are you? Happy Valentine's Day. Amanda?
We're good, Mabel. Thank you. How are y'all?
That was Debbie.
Oh, Debbie. Well, Debbie, hamburger helper hand.
And then
Mabel and Hannah, we're good. I think. Hope y'all are good. Happy Valentine's Day, hamburger helper hand.
there you go. Judy says, hey, Mabel and Hannah. Amy says, Maple. Amy's high. Don't worry about her. Linda says, hi, Mabel. Rose. And Mabel says, thank you, Amanda and Jake and Linda. How are you ladies? Beautiful. Jared1332, welcome to the show. He says, you look like you drive slow in the left lane. Well, you wouldn't be correct. If you were with me, you would be terrified because I ride a Harley in the right lane as fast as it'll freaking go.
He ain't lying.
Brakes, it don't even have brakes. If you wanted to stop, you should have thought about that before you got on it. You look like a person that has no concept of what another person is. How about that? Poor judge of character. I got a nice hot cup of coffee, though, for you. Don't you want a cup? Or can you handle it? Some people. Hilarious. Judy says, doing well, Mabel. How are you? Oh, Brody, what does that say? Brody educates. You educate people? Ayo, what's your favorite books? Well, I like A Tale of Two Cities, the works of Josephus Flavius. I like the Bible. A lot of books, actually. I like Sun Tzu's The Art of War. What's your favorite books? Amy says, Jared, are you watching from the back of a short bus? I think so. And Judy says, hey, Jared, and hey, Brody. And Jared says, message retracted.
No, he got his message retracted.
Mm-hmm. And Brody Educate says, thumbs up. You ever heard any of those books? Angela, hello. She says, hey, my family. Happy Valentine's Day, Angela. How are you today? Judy says, hey, Angel. Mabel says, well, we are okay. Hannah and Madison brought me flowers today. Aw. And now Hannah is doing some drawing and relaxing. The trip was good. It was nice to see my husband. I bet it was. I hope that you guys had a good time. And I hope that it all is settled and your anxiety is assuaged a little, I hope. And I hope that Hannah's hanging in there. Angela says, hey, Judy, heart. Amy says, Angel.
Angela.
Angel.
Angel, hamburger helper hand.
That's a song. I just can't hit the note. Fab Daddy says, if you could be so kind as to hit the like button, I will be emphatically impressed. Nice words, Fab Daddy. Did you hurt yourself? I like it. Emphatically would be a weird way to be impressed, though. You mean indefatigably impressed. You could be really impressed.
Hey, he gets a total E for effort, though.
It's good, though. I like it. I like it when you use big words. It's sexy. Angela says, Amy, what you want to do? That's also a song, and I could hit that note. Judy says, that's really good. You got to see him, Mabel. And Mabel says, Fab Daddy, how are you doing? Aaron says, I got put in Amy's cup holder today. Really? Sexy. How's the view down there?
Oh, damn.
You know, if you angle the phone just right, you can see things.
Damn it, man. I don't know. It's a little cold out to be doing that.
Judy says, number 2, Fab. Don't do that to Fab. He don't even have toilet paper. He's not even prepared. Fab Daddy says, good. And Amanda says,
Oh, damn, Aaron.
Amy says, riding a Harley in the snow as fast as it will go. Yeah, buddy. I've been there. My dog was not going very fast when it was snowing, I promise. That's scary. Because the both wheels can go in any direction anytime they want to if you hit the right patch of ice, and there's nothing you can do about it. And on 2 wheels, that means you are going down. So I wanted to go very slow when driving on the snow. Slow on the snow, fast on the gas when it's dry. Something that rhymes with ass. And Mabel says, run. Angela says, Amanda, Jake, and everyone, hello. Hearts and smiley face with breasticles. Bill Bennett says, hello, Untethered Live family. Happy Valentine's, ladies. Happy Valentine's back at you, buddy.
Hey, Mary Haberham, Bill. Happy Valentine's Day.
Debbie says, I can handle anything anyone hands me. Just ask Kevin. Wait. He can't answer right now. Ask him later. You better have both hands if some people hand you things. Angela. What?
Some things just takes 2 hands.
Right. Angela says, hi, Bill.
Get away from you if you ain't careful.
Amy says, Wild Bill. Wild Bill Hiccup. Judy says, hey, Bill. Mabel says, Hannah says hi to everybody. Hi, Hannah. Happy Valentine's Day. How are you?
Hey, Hannah. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're doing good.
Angela says, I'm happy. I'm awake, and I am here with you all. Well, I'm happy you're awake and here with us, too. Why wouldn't you be awake? Are you doing what Amy's doing? She's over there being the cookie monster with the cookies from the doctor, if you know what I'm saying. Cookies flying everywhere. Yeah. My kind of woman. High and unconscious.
I mean, that could be arranged.
I know, I'd punch you in the damn eye. Hang on, my chat jumped. Judy says, hey, Hannah. Amy says, Hannah, Bobana, Fee-Fi, Fofana, Hannah. Hannah, Bobana, Banana, Banana, Bobana, Fee-Fi, Fofana, Hannah. God, that's old. God, I'm old. Why do I know that? Isn't there room for something special to go in that spot? Can we delete that file and put something better in its place?
The question is, how far back did that file have to go to get that one?
It's way back there, but it just came right up. Did you see that? It happened in real time.
It did too when I read it. I was like, damn, I remembered that.
What's worse is say Ice Ice Baby and it comes right out. It's like it's engrammed on my brain. My brain is like the M5 computer. If you don't know what that is, you can't be friends with me. I'm just kidding. You can be friends with me, but we're not watching Star Trek. Bill Bennett says, my old boss always called me Wild Bill, LOL. I can believe that. Everybody says Jake the Snake or Jake from State Farm to me. Like I've never heard those two things before.
I call you something totally different.
Right. When you say snake, you say it with reverence because you know what it looks like. Amy says, Bill, I'm under medication tonight. We can tell. Linda says, hi, Angela and Bill. All right. Where's Monkey Juice at? It's time to get it on. Breasticles.
Fab Daddy's going to get it started for you.
Okay. Amy says, breasticles.
Here you go.
And Fab Daddy says, did you watch the hearing with Pam Bondi? Why have those? Just to show us the government is useless? I think so, yeah. First thing, right off the bat. Let's go ahead and say it. I think that those hearings are theater. I don't think they do any good. Nobody's ever going to be held accountable, actually. And then the Democrats sit up there and just show their asses and they'll ask questions and won't let anybody answer. And the Republicans are just trying to keep the peace and they just won't say anything assertive. And it's all nonsense.
Yeah, we've been watching it all day.
So there's that. That being said, Pam Bondi is in a mixed bag for me. I don't like Pam Bondi. I think she's a good attorney general. But I also think that she acts like a teenager. She responds to things in a way that I don't find becoming of a lady or a general. And it's kind of embarrassing. That being said, what specifically are you referring to?
The little cheat book that we were talking about.
M. Amin R. says, do you know Iran? Well, I've never met the country, no. We haven't been on first name terms. But I'm open to an invite. Do you know Puerto Rico? Mabel says, it's me, Mario. Woohoo, that must be Hannah.
At least she's not hollering the little Mexican thing. What was it?
I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
The Mexican song?
Mexicano or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
902. Debbie says, that's as old as my grandma and grandma's fart dust.
Right. M-A-Min-R says, hi. Hi.
Mia Mario.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Myanmar?
Myanmar.
Is that like Myanmar? It says Bondi spying on Congress with her book of nasties. Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's probably an overstep, an overreach of power, because the Congress is supposed to be there to set up laws and the president's supposed to agree to those or whatever. But the DOJ has power. Never forget that. This is the top cop. The buck stops there. They have the right to investigate anybody if they think they're guilty of a crime. That being said, I think it's probably an overreach, but it's also hilarious because they gave them software with all of the Epstein files on it and gave them each individual login and password. And it didn't even occur to them that would leave a record of what they were looking at. And so they looked at their search histories. Interestingly enough, people want to freak out about the fact that they were spying on them, but don't want to talk about what they found. What they found was not one of them gave a damn about the victims. They're just looking for their names and people they want to persecute's names.
Right.
That's it. Mostly just Trump.
But, and then on the other hand, if Congress didn't have shit to hide, then they shouldn't be worried about that book.
That's right. That book shows that Pam Bondi's at least doing her job. So that's my take on it. No, I don't care for Pam Bondi. I think she should probably be fired because I don't think she has the right temperament for the job, and she's not all that intimidating. You know, a bigger man would shut somebody down when they interrupted him. She can't do it because she's not big enough or powerful enough or scary enough to make them stop talking. You need somebody like, I don't know. I don't know who would be a good attorney general. Somebody 6 foot tall and with a penchant to arrest people, I guess. But I do think what she did was hilarious.
Yeah, she's acting like a 5th grader. I mean, I don't care for her either. But I mean, she's not doing like she was in Florida either. So
Amy says, "Where did you run?" I don't know. Where did I run?
Talking about Aaron? I don't know.
Aaron says, "Made it home. Good. Glad you made it home."
Or I ran. No, I ran.
Oh, I ran. Where did you? I got it.
You run?
Did you know I ran? I didn't know you ran. Oh, why didn't I think of that? That was a good one. I didn't know you ran. Tell me more, Mr. Iran. And he said I ran, and I asked him where he ran. I got it. I wish I'd have thought of that. Can't win them all. Delaware Northern Rail Project says, I will be single forever, and I love it. Well,
good.
Judging by you coming into a room full of strangers and proclaiming that you'll be single forever and you love it, tells me that you don't love it at all, and you probably need to do some work on yourself so that you can get a good partner. Make a list of pros and cons. Be honest with yourself. First, rate yourself from 1 to 10. Be honest. and then make a list of pros and cons. What do you have to offer, and what do you need work on? And get to work on that list that you need to work on. And add to that list that you have to offer. And as you get a bigger list, then you go out and start trying to meet people. After that, it's just a numbers game. You have to go talk to people because you cannot meet people unless you go face to face with them. So go out and party. Go have some fun. Go to nightclubs or wherever women are. Go to a church. Go to a library and strike up a conversation. Go to a grocery store. Strike up a conversation. Unless you're butt-ass ugly and you're a 2 on the scale, you'll do fine if you're a 5 or above. Mexican, that was it. Delaware, I wish you the best of luck. Go get laid, man. Even if you have to pay for it, it's good for your self-esteem. Delaware says hi. And Mabel says he's a genuine Mexican. Yeah, that's the one. Amanda says, LOL. Oh, you read that.
LOL, yeah, that's it, Hannah.
You're you. Angela says, hi, Linda. Smiley face. Amy says, book of nasties, like Hustler. That's definitely a book of nasties. Mabel says, my daddy said he liked it, and I showed the nurses. Right on. You mean the song?
The song, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He told us about it in the chat that night.
I think so, yeah. How you doing, Hannah? Fab Daddy says, I'm so glad the stock market is doing great. It is. It is doing great. So is 401k. And maybe someday I'll earn a paycheck that could buy some stock. Well, you should, this is what you should do since you're a Democrat. You should look at Nancy Pelosi.
And do everything she does.
And do everything she does. If she buys stock, you buy stock. Just get a copy of her portfolio and do everything she does. If she sells, you sell. And you'll do fine. And nobody will accuse you of insider trading because that would mean she's doing insider trading and they won't touch that. So you'll be safe. It's a loophole. It's courtesy of me to you. There you go. That's how to screw the government. Go ahead.
You're welcome. Oh. Since the thought just crossed my mind. I don't know why screwing the government made me think of it. Thanks, by the way, Amy. You made a comment about the Baja Mountain Dew, and Jake brought it home, and I love it.
There you go. Judy says, hey, amen. M-A-N. M-Amen. I'll get it. Angela says, that's what I'm saying about her, right? Angela says, it should be held by a man. I agree. If you're going to have an intimidating position, it needs to be a 6-foot-tall dude with muscles. I'm sorry. And not an old guy. I don't mean that disrespectful to women at all. But Pam Bondi, 90 pounds, soaking wet with blonde hair is not intimidating anybody. I'm sorry. She's the top cop. The buck stops here. Remember all that? It takes testosterone to do that job. Fab Daddy says, well, that spying was some of the Republicans taking points at the hearing, talking points at the hearing about Jack Smith getting phone records. So it's ironic. That's my point. They're not the only ones doing it. That's why they shouldn't make a big deal about it, because the Democrats are guilty of way worse than that. Actually, if you really want to know how I feel about it, I think it's about damn time the Republicans did something like that. They've been playing it straight this whole time and getting railroaded because they won't break the rules or color outside the lines too much. It's about time they break a few rules. Democrats have been doing it for 20 years, and they're winning. They just got caught for sure. It is verified that they cheated in the last election. Donald Trump was right. They did steal that election, and they got away with it. No heads are going to roll over that. It's what's said and done. It's in the past. So it's about time the Republicans play dirty. They need to learn a few tricks from the Democrats and apply it liberally. No pun intended. Pun intended. Amy says, that's what she said, Angel. Aaron says, I ran track before. Me too, for about 3 steps.
He ran tracked around the bedroom. That's about it.
I chase each other around the room tonight.
Yeah,
That's what we do. Aaron's like, whatever. Amy's like, choo-choo, riding solo down the rails. Yep. Mabel says, no face, no case. I agree. Debbie says, well, I'm 2, so that's why I'm single. I have nothing to offer, haha. Oh, come on. I don't believe that for a second. I've only known you in text and you offer me plenty. So, it's got to be better than that in person. I mean, I hear that you can hold your breath for 10 minutes and say the alphabet with the back of your throat. That's a quality. And Judy says, not true, Debbie. I don't think it's true. Hannah says, I'm good. Thank you, sir. How are you, Jake? I am fantastic, Hannah. Thank you. I'm having a lovely day today. It's a wonderful Valentine's Day, surrounded by people that love me and a few that don't, which is even funnier. I hope you're having a good day, too. Debbie says, okay, Judy, I do have a bad attitude to offer her. You know how to tie a knot? That's something. You know how many girls don't know how to do that? I'm telling you, you're beautiful, and damn it, you're not going to correct me. Bill Bennett says, have self-confidence. Tell yourself you are an 8, and know deep down that you're really a 10, and people are stupid. And I think that's what's wrong with the world today. Too many 5s think they're 10s. You got to be aware that there is a sexual marketplace, and you have to do trading. That's what it is. I mean, there's no other way to see it. You can say that's being crude or sexist or whatever, but that's how the world works. If you don't have the goods, you can't do the trading. It's that simple. Unfortunately, I grew up in the bar scene and around a bunch of superficial people. So I've seen the world in a different way than some people grow up to see it. I see how it really is. I see where the rubber meets the road, where the relationships are made. And I can tell you that it's all superficial. I don't like it, but that's the way it is. It's a game. More than that, it's a numbers game. Judy says, LOL, Debbie, and LOL, Bill. Summer Pants says, oh, I know some women that look like that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Scary.
Welcome, Summer Pants. Happy Valentine's
Sure
Day.
they're women?
Somebody got a message deleted. I bet you stayed up all night trying to think about that. Did it work? Do you feel like you said the right thing? Bill Bennett says Jeff is dead. He is. Amanda?
Georgia got...
Or he's in Egypt.
We're past that? How did we get past that?
That's where we are.
Oh, somebody says, he says Jeffrey Epstein's in Israel right now. No, my chat jumped.
No, you said that.
I said, or he's in Egypt, one or the other, Bill.
Right.
My chat jumped a little bit.
Bill Bennett says, Aladdin.
Jeff hiding himself. Duh. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, that's it. How did you get that? I got stuck on Aladdin. What?
Because I can read street.
You can read street?
Yeah.
I can read straight. Bill, Fab Daddy says, no, I can't believe Trump won 2020 because he didn't. Oh, but he did. He absolutely did. And it's official now. There's no questioning it. The numbers are in. They saw how they cheated. They caught the people that did it in Fulton, Georgia, or Fullerton, Georgia, whatever you call it. He absolutely won the 2020 election. So he's won 3 times. Sorry. All of that was Democrat hype. All of it. None of it was true. Not one word of it. Your entire ideology is based on lies. If you built your ideology in the past 10 years. Angela says Bondi knows everything. She may be having a baby.
She says,
Having a
a
brain?
little further down, she says, let me try that again. Bondi knows everything, the most evil of evils, and who many of those people are. Maybe she is losing her mind or getting paranoid.
Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I just think I'm going to say it. I just think she's got her head stuck so far up Trump's ass, she's going to try to do anything that makes him to look better, and in the process, she's hurting him.
She's definitely a Trump cheerleader or sycophant, however you want to call it. She's definitely that. For some reason, she is dead set on protecting Trump, and I'm not sure that's a good quality. And I think that people that work for Trump have to have a reasonable separation from Trump. They need to defend him, but in a professional manner, because if you get too personal, that's a conflict of interest, and I don't think you need that.
To me, she's just too giddy for Trump.
I agree. There's things about Pam that I like, but there's a lot of things about her that I do not like.
Right.
And I am a conservative, but I will not play favorites. If I like you, I'll say it. If I don't, I won't. Abdullah says Jeffrey Epstein's in Israel right now. He might very well be. Somebody's definitely playing on his World of Warcraft account. That's active right now. And there's pictures that might be AI, but they kind of look like him surrounded by a Secret Service. But that is not a thing that I can factually report on because it's probably AI. Unfortunately, we have to consider that now before we go telling things that we think we know. Because thanks to the left, we have this new technology that can fake shit like that and do it convincingly. So I need more evidence before I go out and say that he's still alive. I will give you the one piece of evidence that I have. Megyn Kelly said the day after he died that we would hear from him again, possibly from him himself in person. So she knows something that the rest of us don't know. Maybe. Or maybe she was just talking out of her ass. I don't know. Amanda says,
I don't know.
9:14. Catch up.
Georgia got caught printing the ballots in 2020, Fab.
Yes. They have machines. They had a whole factory set up just to print ballots. All of the ballots had the same exact pencil marks on all of them. Like 20,000 of them.
FBI caught them all.
Bill says, when we're dead, the truth will come out. Trump won and they cheated. It's coming out now.
Yep.
I don't know if there's anything they can do about it. I'm going to make a prediction and say that somehow a law is going to be passed that will allow Trump to take his rightful term after this one. That will be how he can stay in power. But I don't know how that could be done constitutionally because you can only serve 2 terms. So I don't know. But he did win, so they should give it back to him. Maybe they can add a year to his term or something, make it fair. I don't think they will, but it'd be nice to see some vindication that you can't cheat in elections.
In Egypt or Israel, one of them. Somewhere Epstein's been spotted.
Yeah, so they say. I can't verify that. That's not fake news coming from me because I don't know that that's true, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. I mean, they did wheel a fake body out in front of the press. Why did they do that? He's dead. Why does it matter if they saw him or not? They did do that. That's proven. They did wheel out a fake Jeffrey Epstein for the press to see, and they removed him privately. Why did they do that? I don't know. The man's dead. Why would it matter? And they did there was some fuckery afoot in the jailhouse with the cameras and the angles and people going up and down the stairs and them saying that there weren't people going up and down the stairs and that they saw the video footage. And then there was that missing 24 hours, and then they said it was only a minute that was missing, and then all that nonsense. None of that's real. That's all bullshit. Why? I don't know, but they're lying to you. Kind of makes you doubt them. I think that's on purpose. I just don't know the end game. Fab Daddy says, I've heard he might be alive. Yeah, I have too. But again, I I can't say that that's the case because I don't know. If I see him with my own eyes, I'll tell you, yeah, he's alive.
But he's has supposedly been spotted, and his gaming thing has been
Yeah, his gaming accounts are definitely active. I've seen that. That's true. I've got people that are in that world that will verify that. He is active. His accounts are active. That could be his grandson playing them. I don't know. But it is kind of weird. It wouldn't surprise me, would it? If he was really the evil that everybody says he is, would it surprise you that they faked his death and hid him? If he truly has the power that everybody says he has, would that surprise you? It don't surprise me. Angela says, let me try. I read that one. Okay. Mabel says, or Hannah says, Auntie Madison told me whatever someone thinks they are usually 3 points less than that. So if you're a 2,
right.
sheesh. You're not wrong, Hannah. You're not wrong. Most people inflate their numbers. Angela says, why am I number 3? I was here late. That's why.
No, because she comments a lot. It goes on your comments, not what time you got here.
Right. And Judy says, right, Mabel?
That,
or Hannah?
That experience points at the top. I think you can click on it in the phone and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click on the thing in the phone, it'll tell you how many points you have from talking. And that's about right, Hannah.
Yeah. Fab Daddy says, why did Epstein order 330 gallons of sulfuric acid sent to his New Mexico ranch? Well, I do not know. I have no idea. He was either making bombs or disposing of dead bodies.
Yeah, but that'd take a while, wouldn't it?
Yes, sulfuric acid is not the best thing to do that. It will work, but it takes a long time, and it don't really do bones that well. So it would leave evidence. I don't know why he would do that.
I was going to say, if he's in New Mexico, there's so many other things in New Mexico to...
I will tell you one thing, Fab Daddy. Sulfuric acid is used in making crystal meth. So there's that.
Yeah. Can be.
Can be.
And, well, yeah, they can make quite a few things with it, but yeah, mostly crystal meth.
I will tell you something else. There's this thing about jerky going around that everybody's freaking out about, thinking that it's babies. And I think what Sherlock Holmes said is true. If you eliminate the probable, whatever's left over, however improbable, must be the truth. And Occam's razor, the simplest answer must be the true answer. That's probably drugs. That's my guess. Or something. There's a lot of jerky talk, though. And also pizza and grape soda.
Yeah.
So that means that all the Pizzagate stuff was real.
Right.
And when everybody told us it was nonsense and we were crazy for even thinking it, QAnon even, if you even thought it, turns out it was real. So there's that. So what's really going on? And by the way, all of these things, just so you know, they come from the Democrats, not the Republicans. Every one of them. Every school shooter in history, every serial killer in history is either trans or has some sort of sexual perversion leading towards that. Every single one of them. Your ideology is broken and it breaks people. That's what I'm trying to get at you. That's why we're so against the Democratic way of thinking. It's not because in the old days you could be a liberal and still be a common person. They called them Dixiecrats where I'm from in Georgia. Back in the old days, a liberal could be your friend. They still had common sense. They just voted a different way. Nowadays, this leftist thing that they're doing is completely nonsense. It started with the progressive movement and it got worse. Anything left of progressive is crazy. And that's where all these crazy, evil things are coming from. All of them. Not one of them is Christian-centered or Republican-centered. And while you're thinking about reasons to hate people that think like I do, you should really consider that. And Bill Bennett says, I'm a happy 3 or 4. I'm a solid 6 and I know it. I ain't trying to be anything better or worse. And Judy says, we're talking to Hannah. Hey again, Hannah. That's correct. Dwight, welcome back. He says, the White House has been run by a pedophile for 6 years now. No.
For 6 years?
You can't count to start with, and no. Trump is not a pedophile. He's the reason the pedophile got arrested. Do your math. Hannah says, hello, Judy, smiley face. And Debbie says, oh, no, Hannah, that makes a negative. If you go past 2, yeah, it's a -1. Judy says, that is a scary question, Fab. My guess is it's probably something more normal. But who knows? They might be making adrenochrome and need some way to get rid of the bodies. I don't know. Maybe they had a really large concrete pad that they needed to be cleaned. Turn that volume down. I don't want to hear me.
I did mean to. I'm trying to do something else and forgot that was even there.
Amy says, I'm not solo. Denver Railroad said he was single. It was a play on his name. I got you. And Dwight said, yes. Yes, what? The Epstein photo of him in Israel is AI, says Dwight. I don't doubt it. I said that. Angela says Fulton County. That's the one. Thank you, Angela. I couldn't remember if it's Fulton or Fullerton. Sorry, my chat jumped. Hang on. Amanda?
Hold on a minute. I'm trying to.
Someone was on his gaming account. Amy says, Dwight, did you know that false allegations hurt actual victims of child SA? STFU. Fake claims take away resources that real victims need. Stop it. Fab Daddy says, no, he lost. But why does 2020 matter? He won 2024. Poor guy can't take a loss. He did not lose. He won the election. They faked the results that got Joe Biden over the top. Joe Biden was under Trump by 20,000 votes. Trump won. I'm sorry. That being said, he took the loss, and Joe Biden destroyed the country for the next 4 years because he took the loss. I don't care if your Trump derangement syndrome kicks in or not. He absolutely won the 2020 election. That's why it matters. Because we don't like cheaters. That's why it matters. Because when we go vote, we want to have some reasonable understanding and assurance that our vote actually counts for the person we voted for. That's why it matters. It matters a lot. And it ain't him that's bitching about it. It's me. I can't take a loss, especially when it was cheated out from under me. Cheater, pants on fire, or something. Angela says she is definitely weak and needs to go. She is too emotional. I agree with that. And Judy says, thanks, Amy. And J Punks NZ says, he bro, what's good? Well, I'm American, but I would be sexy with a big nose. And I'm good. Thanks for asking. Fab Daddy says Christy Nome lost her blanket and a pilot lost his job for a few hours until they needed him to fly the plane. Well, maybe you should get Christy Nome her blanket. I don't know what you're referring to. Sounds like the kind of thing you should handle. Amanda?
FBI raided Georgia and found the ballots. I'm trying to get back to where I was because my chat jumped up.
9:20.
Something like that.
9:20.
FBI caught it in Georgia, Fab, because it proves that the Democrats are cheaters and liars.
Correct. That's why it matters.
That's why it matters. Oh, Lord, here we go.
Bill Bennett says, follow your heart. There's no way to tell truth of fake in very near future. Hell, I can't tell now. Yeah, well, eventually it's going to get to that point where you can't distinguish real video from fake video. Right now, you can still kind of tell if it moves. It's got that uncanny valley thing, but they're getting really good at it. And they're doing all these videos on YouTube. You'll see them where they're like panning through rock stars of different ages, and they'll go up, shake each other's hand and smile, and then they'll do like the characters from a comic book into real people and things like that. They're getting really good at people. It won't be long. That's them actually training the AI. That's what those videos are, is AI learning how to do people. It won't be long, and you won't be able to tell. That's a thing we shouldn't have to contend with, but we do. JP says, greetings from New Zealand. Hello, New Zealand. Welcome in. We'll take Trump if he wants to fix our country. Our country is smashed from China. I hear you, brother. You're welcome here anytime. Come on. We need some good New Zealander brains up in here. Angela says, after the Democratic Party falls, maybe Trump will be given those 4 years back.
Yeah, right.
Maybe. One could hope. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
Nope, but he can keep Vance in there.
JP says the whole Epstein thing is caca. How can professionals of high levels be so amateur? It stinks of caca, I tell you. I don't disagree. There's definitely evil in this world, and there's definitely people that are involved in it. Jeffrey Epstein being one of them. But the whole thing that's on display for us in the media, it's all a bunch of nonsense. I don't know if I trust any of it from any source. I don't know what to believe. All I do know that's for sure is that half the people aren't getting what they want and the other half are. Angela says, you guys do know it's all going to fall, right? It's literally the end of the world as we know it. Well, yes, we do know that. That's why I teach Bible on Sunday and Mondays, where we talk about the fall of the world. And yeah, it's foretold. It's going to happen. But we have to live in it, so we might as well talk about it as it goes. We're zebras and horses. You know what I'm saying? The old saying goes, when you hear hooves, you think horses, but it could be zebras. Might trick you. Amy says, witness protection program for the rich and famous. He's hiding in Argentina in Hitler's old bunker. Probably, yeah. What are you laughing at?
Monkey Juice's TDS is showing.
I hadn't gotten to him yet.
I know you ain't.
Stay up here with me.
I'm trying.
That's why you can't figure out where you're at. Stay up here. Stop reading ahead. Judy says, that's what scares me, Angel. There's no need to be scared, Judy. It's going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it. The end of the world is coming. The only thing you can do is enjoy it while it lasts, like a TV show, because it's going to happen. And it's going to get to a point where it's no longer enjoyable and it becomes physically painful. So enjoy it while you can. JP says, it's not the end. Time is immeasurable and will carry on with or without us to a certain degree. There's nothing that lasts forever, JP. The law of thermodynamics, the second law of thermodynamics disproves that statement. Everything tends towards chaos. You just have to understand that all things are on the clock, all things. And at some point, that clock is going to run out. Whether you're religious or not, I happen to be a believer in God and His Word, but there are different kinds of people in the world. But physics is not questionable. Amy says, Vaping Amanda, adding her own sound effects. Yeah, at least we could get some buzzing or some whistling on that thing. Maybe I poke some holes in it while she's asleep. Get some different sound effects.
No. I was surprised I can hear it with the mic being messed up.
Angela says, oh, awesome. I'm a 3. Amy says, it's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel feline. I feel fine. Fine. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. Angela says, Judy, don't be scared. We are here at this time in life for a reason. Amen. And we know how this ends. God wins. Amen, amen. Amy says, absolutely, Angel. Fab Daddy says, Amanda, can you give a link into the Fulton FBI that shows the indictments. We can give you a link that shows the investigation that hadn't got to the indictment part yet. It's coming, believe me. Dwight says, I thought this was an LGBT friendly site. Well, you thought incorrectly, Dwight. Why would you think a thing like that? Whoever made you think that? Was it me? I don't think it was. Why would you be LGBT friendly? You like insane people? We are LGBT friendly as long as it's leading towards an asylum of some sort. And Judy says, you're right, Angel. Fab Daddy says, if someone printed ballots, I want to know who. Fulton County, Georgia. The people that are involved in the ballot counting there did it. There are other places. I tell you what, it was Dimension. Is that what it was? They told me last night, but I forgot it already.
The name of the machines?
The name of the machines. You know that not everybody uses the same voting machines, right? Well, back in 2019 or 2020, somewhere in that area, we had a big expose about these voting machines. I think the company's name is Dimension or something like that. Dominion, that's it. Dominion voter machines. That they were not hackable, that they were not connected to the internet, that they couldn't cheat with those machines. Well, it turns out that they absolutely can, and that's at the base of this investigation, that those machines were doing the cheating. I want you to go look at a map. You can find it on the internet of just where those machines are located, and you will find out that they're in every swing state only and a few scattered everywhere else. But the majority of them are in Georgia, surrounding Fulton County. Big swath of them right there. That's where the cheating happened. It happened everywhere, but that was the fulcrum point. That's where the ballot mills are. And yes, we will get that information to you as it comes out. But make no mistake about it, they absolutely did cheat. Well, all paper ballots get printed. No. They get scanned, not printed. When you print them filled out, that is illegal. You can't do that. You scan them, and the scanner reads where the pencil goes. But when you print them already blacked in,
that's cheating.
That's cheating. There's no other way to see it. And they were the exact amount of votes cheated that it took to win the presidency, which means if they weren't there, Trump would have won. Period. Angela says the chaos comes from the Democrats. They have the will of Lucifer to fulfill for all the power they are trying to achieve. Yes, do what thou wilt. That's it. Satanism. That's correct. Amy says LGBT, liberty, grace, bacon, truth. I like it. I like that a lot better than the other LGBT.
Right.
JP says, do you know what's behind politics? Yes. That's the true empire. Look how they distract you from even looking. It's crazy. Some people are representatives. Some people and representatives have more power than presidents. That's also true. The president is just a figurehead. He's just a front man. That's all he is. There are people that work above the government that you don't know their names. Extra ballots? No, not extra ballots. Ballots that they counted. There were some like 10,000 ballots that had the same address. And there were plenty of doubles in there. Not extra ballots, cheated ballots. Amy says, Q-tip, Anon, QAnon. We don't know who they are, and they can't hear us anyway. Q-tip Anon. Right, I got you. If they get that Q-tip out of their ear, they could hear, right? Amanda?
January 2026, where the FBI executed a search warrant at the Fulton County Election Hub Operations Center near Atlanta, Georgia, This resulted in agents seizing hundreds of boxes. Reports vary from around 650 to over 700 containing physical ballots, ballot images, tabular tapes, voter rolls, and other
tabulation tapes.
Tabulator tapes.
Tabulatory, yeah, they tabulate.
Voter rolls and other materials from the 2020 presidential election. I don't have time to pull all the rest of it for you, but there's that.
Right on. Angela says, JP, but the world can the world can drastically change and end the way it is right now in the blink of an eye. This is true. And thank you for subscribing, American Patriot for Life. I appreciate your subscription. Come on in. Fab Daddy says the number of votes Trump needed from Georgia was 11,000. That's what he asked somebody to find on a phone call concerning something else. And the Democrats used that to accuse him of pressuring them for votes, to find votes. That's not what he was asking. That's bullshit coming from the left, and you fell into it. That's not even the topic of this conversation. He lost by 20,000 votes, not 11. Dwight says, why do all the current polls say that people would rather have Biden back in office? Well, because I don't know that they do, but if they do, it's because all the polls are ran by Democrats. And of course they would have them say that. You can't trust polls. All those same polls that said Hillary Clinton was destined to win the presidency back in 2016. Polls are written by people who really want something to happen. Therefore, they try to sway people's opinions by putting out polls. That's why. Amy says, thanks for subscribing, American Patriot for Life. I'm a shit with names. Welcome. Not like civilian votes matter in the U.S. Well, that's incorrect. They do matter. They matter for the Electoral College, and they matter for the seats in the states, which vote for the Electoral College, which vote for the president. So they do matter, but it's trickle up.
I don't have time to pull it all up, Fab.
Tanya C., welcome to the show. Tanya says he won in 2016 as well. I don't care what anybody says. I believe we should have paper ballots again. I agree, Tanya. 100%. Every other country can tally their ballots in one day, and they all do paper ballot, and they don't have nearly the problems that we have. And we used to do it that way, and we got our president's answer in one day. In the old days, we need to go back to that. It needs to be a national holiday. Everybody should be able to get off work so they could go vote. National holiday, paid day off. Go vote. Count it that night. Next day, have a president. That's the way it should be. I'm behind that 100%. And show your ID when you get there. Angela says, math does math for Biden to have won. Either way, lied about the percentage of people who voted, or they lied about their numbers on Biden's count. Either way. Monkey Juice, welcome to the show. Got your boxing gloves? I'm ready. Are you ready? In 2030, 34 federal judges said, give me proof of election fraud. Republicans have nothing. Fact. Wrong. We hadn't got to 2020, 34 yet.
2020.
Yeah.
2020, 34 federal judges.
Yeah. So, just because they asked for a thing that didn't get produced does not mean they don't have anything. And that was then in 2020 when they were still hiding their tracks. Now the FBI has raided them because they have a Republican DOJ, not a Democrat DOJ. And now they have found the evidence sitting in Fulton County. They didn't even bother to hide it. That's how confident they were they got away with it. Sorry, Monkey Juice. You lose. Everything you believe is a lie. Amy says, she's not your secretary. Who are you talking about? Her? She is my secretary. Absolutely.
No, Amy was telling Fab Daddy that.
Oh. My bad. Sorry. Tanya says, I meant 2020. I got you. Fab Daddy says, he asked the Attorney General to find them for him. It was concerning a different thing. They twisted that. That is not what he was asking. He wasn't asking him to produce the votes. He was asking for votes he already knew were there. And that's why, because they were not gaining like they should have been gaining, because they were keeping count as they went. Trump is very good at this game. He already had the plan laid out before he ever started campaigning. And like clockwork, he went through the motions and did the things and got the votes and won the cities. That's why he was campaigning right up until election night, till midnight, and passed on election night. He was out there doing rallies because he was winning people. And then when he looked at the numbers and they weren't like they were supposed to be, he called and asked the guy to find the votes that were missing. He was not asking him to produce votes that didn't exist. The Democrats twisted that and used it as evidence. They used that as evidence that eventually led to them raiding him in Mar-a-Lago, along with the Steele dossier and the Russia, and all of the bullshit. All of that is fake. Your entire worldview, if it was built in the last 10 years, is based on bullshit. Everything you think is wrong. All of it. Fulton ballots has gone through a few recounts. Yes, by Democrats, never once by Republicans. And there was no issue. Yes, because they didn't count the ballots that were the cheated ballots. You got to understand, it's all a ruse. What you don't know about that is that every time they asked for a recount, they got buffeted by judges, Democrat judges. They weren't allowed to actually count the ballots. They were only allowed to count the ballots that were already in, or the ones that were in dispute. They weren't allowed to go to the places and actually do a ballot, audit. They weren't allowed to do that. That's why there was no issues. That, with a strong narrative, kept it in flux. Well, they thought they got away with it, so they didn't hide the evidence. Now we got a strong DOJ. They went and raided them, and they found the ballots. So you will hear more about that in the coming weeks.
Hamburger helper hand, monkey.
34 federal judges, 34 Democrat judges. Yeah. What's your point? Who told you that judges can do that? They can't. Monkey says, hello, Amanda. Debbie says, hey, Fab, what if I said the 2020 election was unconstitutional, too? Democrat judges in Democrat states changed the election laws and allowed for the mass mail-out ballots. And according to the Constitution, judges are not allowed to change the laws. Correct. Yeah, there's that, too. They also changed the laws in swing states and in other places. They changed the situation so that they could win and cheat. Or cheat and win. And they did. It's the same way that they installed Cackleface Kamala Harris without going through the caucuses, without primarying. That was also unconstitutional and very, very communist of them. Bill Bennett says, I think the GOP and the libs are too far gone somehow. We need a new People's Party, the untethered lords of the Republic. I don't disagree with that. Unfortunately, that's not the way our system works, and we can't just take over. I wish we could. I mean, it's in the Constitution. We should be able to, but they have jets and nukes, so it's not going to happen. So as long as we live in this country, it's going to be a two-party country, and we just need to learn how to play within the rules. and have lots and lots of conversations and keep dialogue open, because as long as we can talk about it, we can parse it out. When they shut down voices, that's when it really becomes a communist state, and you don't want that. Monkey Juice says raid don't mean shit. You wait and see, buddy. You get all the attitude you want. You just wait and see. Watch and see how fast it works in your favor. I'm Shit with Name says, can you Americans not comprehend that it's not about Democrat or Republican, left or right, liberal or conservative? You are brainwashed by your news stations founded by politicians. Well, first of all, I'm Shit. I don't watch the news, so you're wrong there. Second of all, I'm telling you the truth because that's what the truth is. Third of all, yeah, we get it. We're not idiots, left wing, right wing, same bird. You're an outsider. You don't have a stake in this fight. Nor do you understand the complexities of it. You're welcome to talk, but just know your place. Bill Bennett says, AI learns itself smarter than us by far. I disagree with that. It appears to be smarter than us. It's not actually smarter than us. We can do things it can't. Like withstand a cup of coffee being spilled on our circuit boards. Amanda says the Democrats were printing ballads. Yes. War Eagle says, anybody heard or anybody headed to divine liturgy tomorrow morning? No. No. And I'd appreciate it if you didn't hype other people's shows on my show. That's not cool. Tanya says, I'm not going to happen, but agree, keep Vance in there. It's not going to happen, but keep Vance in there after Trump as of today anyway. Oh, yeah, Vance is the next president. You can bet on that. I'd give you money on that. Monkey says, this is another Trump deflection of the Epstein files. Well, you're wrong about that, too, because it has nothing to do with the Epstein files. They're all being released. So it don't look like he's deflecting a whole lot now, does it? Look at anybody doing any talking. They're all talking about the Epstein files. If he was deflecting, he's doing a very poor job of it. Think about what you're saying. Angela says, I like Rubio, too. I want Fetterman to be the head of the new Democrat Party after the evil Democrats are gone. I don't know that he can be head of anything. He's working on half a brain. But he is a good dude for what he is. I mean, he is a Democrat. But he's a Democrat with a little bit of common sense. I'll give him that. And I like him all right. I don't think he should be the head of the party, though. Tanya says, it's absolutely the end of times. Amen. It definitely we're close. I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime, but it's pretty close. Amy says, y'all bickering back and forth about stuff? That's what they want. Both sides are corrupt and dividing us so they stay in power. Yeah. That's why I try to draw a hard line with reality and stop you from going down those rabbit holes. But you don't listen. Monkey juice. Amanda says your TDS is showing, Monkey juice.
TDS is showing big time there, Monkey.
Dwight says, is that why you smoke those cancer sticks? Because you know the world will end soon? No, I smoke them because they're delicious. And it's none of your business. So how about that?
And because he's a grown man and because he can.
Thanks for reminding me. The end of the world is just ancillary. It's going to happen. I can still beat you in a fight. So smoking the cancer sticks ain't done that much for my health. Richard says 34 judges said, show me proof. And they're doing that. They're showing them proof. They went down there and raided that place and got the proof. They went right over the judges' heads, and they're not any bit happy about that, by the way. But that's what's happening. So you little Democrat stooges, just shut the hell up and watch it work. And if you don't keep your mouth shut, you're going to end up with Trump a third term because it's rightfully his. You better let alone be let alone. Let good enough be good enough and keep your mouth shut and just let them go ahead and, fire a couple of employees and put a couple people in jail and be the end of it. Because if you piss him off, you've already seen what he can do. You guys are still reeling to catch up with him. He's been working you over for the past decade, and there's nothing you can do about it. Fall for every trap he lays. He's smarter than you, he's faster than you, and he can outwork you. If I was you, I would learn to shut the hell up while you're ahead. And you might actually win a few seats in the House in the next midterm. If you don't, though, you're going to screw up and get Trump for a third term. Write it down that I said so. And when he really ain't got nothing left to lose, you don't want to know what he's capable of. Amy says, while y'all are arguing, the elites are getting in position to F us all. I don't disagree. Unfortunately, the only tool I have to affect any change is to argue. I'm good at it, and I stand my ground well, so that's why I'm here doing it. I don't have the power to go and change anything in the world in any other way, so I'm doing what I can do. What is everybody else doing? Fab Daddy says, covert was going in 2020 mail-in ballots so people can't go out and enjoy life. COVID was going. Yeah, no. No, they use that as an excuse. I largely believe it goes back further than I believe they released COVID to screw Trump out of the election. That's what I think. You're going to find out I'm more right than wrong in that one, too. Unfortunately. Amanda?
I just posted it in the chat earlier, Monkey.
What?
The stuff about FBI and raiding Georgia.
Yeah, go read that.
We read it already.
It's not her fault if you can't see. Tanya says, exactly, Fab Daddy. Yeah, and she's saying that in the ironic way, like, exactly. COVID was the excuse to keep people from going out to vote, so they pushed mail-in ballots so they could cheat.
Uh-huh.
We're not supposed to do the entire voting mail-in. It's supposed to be an exception, not a rule, for people that are overseas or disabled, not for everybody. Because when you have mail-in ballots being sent through the mail, anybody can fill them out. Dead people voted. Lots and lots of dead people voted in the 2020 election. Did you know that? And I don't mean 10. I mean like 10,000 dead people voted.
I want to know how I did that.
And they weren't alive when they voted and then died. They were dead when they voted.
One of them was 300 and some years old, wasn't it?
No, that's a different thing.
Oh.
That's people that are registered to vote that are 300 years old.
Oh. No, it was something like that.
That's one of the things that DOJ uncovered. Either we have vampires living in this country or people just overlooked some weird shit because there shouldn't be 300-year-old people voting. If so, I would like to have them on the show.
Right.
If there was a piece of glass in between us, because I'm not sure I want them close enough to bite me.
Right.
Amy says COVID was the biggest overreaction in recent history. In entire history, I think. Monkey Juice says Trump's COVID policies killed millions of Americans. Incorrect, sir.
No, that was Fauci and
that would be Fauci.
And what's his other name?
The guy from New York.
Yates.
No, Cuomo.
Yeah.
Cuomo is the guy that sent all the COVID patients to the old folks' home. When Trump sent ships to the harbor in New York to be hospitals for the COVID, to get them off shore, they turned them away. He had warehouses built and on-site pop-up facilities for handling COVID. They turned them away.
But if Gates and Fauci hadn't manufactured it to begin with to try to ruin Trump, then none of this would have happened.
Operation Warp Speed was a little fucked up. Excuse my language. Everything else Trump did was right on the money, what you should have done, and on time, and paid for, and ready to go. And the Democrats pushed it away. Now, if the Democrats were on the up and up, Operation Warp Speed would have been great. But all of the screwing around with the different vaccine companies that actually killed people and caused some weird anomalies to start happening, like people with brain tumors and long tendrils in their veins and heart problems from young people and people passing out on the news and all of that shit. If it hadn't been for all that, Operation Warp Speed would have been great. He got the job done. Problem is they cut too many corners on the other side and didn't act in good faith, so it turned out bad. Wasn't Trump's fault. Any president would have been so lucky to do as much.
And then the video just got leaked where Fauci and Gates created the virus.
Yeah.
To snowball Trump.
Yeah.
Oops.
So much for that. See, the thing is you're arguing for something and you don't have all the facts because you believe in the original lie. You haven't listened to all the new evidence that have come out in the past 2 months. But if you stay on top of it, you begin to see a picture emerging from all of this. There's a very small group of people that did all of this. And you can trace it back to 1999 when they put a patent on the COVID virus and then started doing war games for this exact kind of pandemic in the Bill and Melinda Foundation. So, apparently this was all planned out ahead of time. But you're just now going to find that stuff out. I wonder if your Trump derangement syndrome will be there when everything is proven to be wrong, as it is looking like it's going to be. I'm a shit, says Amy. No, it was not. Many people died from COVID. Not as many as you think.
No many more than flu.
If you go look at the national numbers of deaths, they did not spike all that much during the COVID years. No more than the year before or the year after.
If it was as bad as they said it would, there would have been bodies everywhere.
Yeah, if it was as bad as they reported on the news, you would have been tripping over bodies as you walk down the street. And that is not the case. I swear, you guys see one video of a Chinese man passing out, and the whole country went nuts. That wasn't even in America, you idiots. You got people putting stickers on the ground and plexiglass in front of cashiers. It's airborne, moron. Doesn't matter how far away you stand, you're going to get it.
Right. And a paper mask ain't going to stop it. It's so stupid.
I can't believe you guys are still thinking that. It's actually amazing to me that you have that few brain cells that you actually still think there's logic behind that argument.
You can smell a fart through that mask. It ain't stopping air from getting through it.
Hey, Monkey Juice, I would put my last dollar on the fact that every human being alive personally knows 2 people that died. That's not this flex you think it is.
No.
Think about what you're saying. I personally know 2 people that died. Yeah, it's called COVID, but whatever. It could have been a motorcycle accident, but they died.
I know 2 people that died not of COVID, had nothing to do with COVID, wasn't even close to COVID, and they still ruled it COVID.
How about that?
And
Every human being alive knows people that died. It's a part of human life.
And I can prove it. I have the hospital report where they died at the hospital for one thing, and then the medical examiner report said another thing. Said COVID.
And by the way, nobody gets out of here alive. Every human being that has ever existed or ever will exist is going to die. This thing that we call life is 100% fatal. You cannot survive it. Think about what you're saying. All you're doing is pushing the can down the road or terrified to do so. One or the other.
I think that the jab was killing more people than the disease
It
was.
absolutely was. Matter of fact, that's where most of the deaths started spiking.
Uh-huh.
You see, those of us that have family that work in the industry, my sister owns a florist, and she lives in between two funeral homes. And there's a third one down the road. And she makes pretty good money doing that. So I called her and I asked her, man, you must be killing it right now. Flowers for people that are dying. I mean, the news said that 10,000 people are dying a day. She's like, no. As a matter of fact, we're kind of struggling. Shocker. Didn't see that coming. So I kept up with it. Throughout the entire 4-year period, her business only went up marginally. Just a little. Not a lot. Explain that. All the Democrats go to different florists? I don't think so. Nobody was buying flowers because of COVID? I don't think so. Or maybe you bought into a bullshit lie that you didn't bother to go check yourself. And now you're trying to lord it over people like it means something. Yes, people died from COVID. People die from the flu every day. Go look into the numbers. Funny how cancer and arthritis and diabetes and pancreatic cancer and lung disease and heart disease all disappeared. Wasn't nowhere in the count during COVID. But yet the COVID numbers rose to unprecedented levels. Also turns out that hospitals get an incentive money-wise if they list COVID deaths. Gee, you think maybe they were doing that to make money? I don't know. Sounds kind of suspicious to me. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. But you're smart and I'm dumb. You got it. Amy says 6-foot rule, masks, directional arrows in stores, all made up without any scientific evidence to back any of it up. Yeah, all nonsense, basically. Tanya says, absolutely, Amy, it was. Tanya, you should subscribe to this channel. You belong here.
I think she did.
Good.
$9.39.
Yeah, I'm looking at something else. For some reason, my subscription filter isn't active. I want to know why.
Probably for the same reason it tries to put your videos private.
No. That happened one time because of a previous video that was private, and I forgot to change it. Muggy Jew says, I got all my shots, and I'm just fine.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Do you not hear what you're saying? You sound like a robot with a brain cell that's half working. You are not just fine. You really need to go see a doctor. No, scratch that. You really need to go see a Republican doctor.
You have lost your brain cells.
And you don't know that you're fine. These things are called long-term for a reason. I got 0 shots, and I'm fine. I'm shit with names says there was a lot of scientific evidence. You are delusional. Prove it. Show me. Where do you get this scientific evidence? Can you point to any of it? If you're going to say CDC, you're wrong. They were ran by Democrats, and everything that they said turned out to be false already. Proven in scientific areas. All of the doctors who actually specialize in vaccinations and things like that, they were all shut up and their social media accounts canceled and all of that. All of the peer-reviewed papers were hidden away, and the only people allowed to talk about it were morons like Fauci. Yeah, scientific. Really? What's this scientific evidence? Can you point to any of it? Do you even know what you're talking about? Do you have any idea what COVID-19 is? Do you know what bat-like SARS is? Do you know anything about the AIDS virus? Do you know anything at all? I don't think you do. Delusional is a strong word that requires evidence. I seem to be doing quite fine for a delusional guy. What are you doing in your mama's basement? Amanda says,
I don't know what's going on.
9:40.
My computer's acting crazy back here.
That's your problem, Monkey. Tanya says, well, I'm not surprised. I live in Georgia, not far from Fulton County. Hey, I'm from Georgia. Nice to see you, Tanya. I'm from Sandersville, Georgia. Mabel says, makes me happy. I am homeschooled. Hannah says, makes me happy I am homeschooled, and people like that are weird. Right on. I'm glad you're homeschooled, too. That means you'll grow up with some sense.
Right.
Yep. Amy says, and it's coming out that some aggressive cancers are caused by the clot shot. Yeah, there's some really weird things those vaccines did to people. Not everybody. Now, some people it worked just fine. I'm not trying to shit on the vaccines. But it was a experimental drug that was not tested properly, and they had some long-term side effects for some people. Any vaccine, a certain number of people in the society is going to be negative, but everybody else is fine. This was a much larger number, much larger. Giving shots to kids was a bad idea. They didn't need it. Out of all the people in the world, they're the least susceptible to any viruses in the first place, with the immune system to handle it. Giving them shots was a bad idea because now they have to suffer through the side effects, and that was not necessary. That's scientific. Angela says COVID was just to see who would comply and put some experimental crap in your arm that can't be good for you because they made you get them or lose your job. For those whose companies are woke. Right. Richard says, conspiracy theory, Amy. Well, it's awful convenient that everything you think is bad is a conspiracy theory, huh? Who put out that conspiracy theory? A conspiracy theory turns into be a conspiracy fact in about 6 months. Because that's what a conspiracy theory is. People recognizing patterns that everybody else isn't talking about. So where did you get the idea that was a conspiracy theory? And Fab Daddy says Dominion. Yes, thank you, Fab Daddy. It was Dominion. Richard says the shot is safe. Saved millions of lives worldwide. No, it didn't. You can't verify it saved any lives.
And neither can they.
And neither can they. That's retarded. You'd have had the same luck shooting water in your veins. Saved lives. There's not 1 ounce of evidence that a shot saved anybody's life. Ever. Concerning this. And if it's safe, then how come so many people have myocarditis? And clots, blood clots with long tendrils in their veins. And people passing out in record numbers all after they started taking the shots.
Right.
Never before that. Never after that. But just during that period. Why is that? Nothing to see here, though, right? I can't believe you had to grow this long to be that dumb. How many years did you go to school to be that stupid?
Hey, I got a bridge I'll sell you in Arizona.
Yeah, how many conspiracy theories have come to fruition lately there, Monkey Juice?
Right.
Says Amy. If you had a jar and you put $1 in it every time Alex Jones turned out to be right, you'd be rich right now. And he's not right about everything. He says some crazy shit. But he's right more than you like. I can promise you that. Amy says, monkey shit. Did I say monkey shit? I meant monkey juice.
No, she's saying monkey shit. The monkey shit talking monkey shit.
Oh.
Or monkey juice is talking monkey shit.
Fab Daddy says, yeah, and it cost Rudy Giuliani his bar license and a wad of money. What did? What? Defending what? What are you talking about? What is it in that sentence? Tanya says, my country was in that scandal. It's just awful. I was in law. That is true. What country? Your county. My county was in that scandal. You're talking about the voting scandal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of places in Georgia that were doing it. Fulton County is just the center. That's where the hub is, where they count all the votes. I guess the headquarters of that state. So yeah, the whole state was involved. It was just headquartered in Fulton. If that makes any sense.
This next statement, wow.
If the shots didn't work, humanity probably wouldn't exist. Think of that. I don't need to think of that. My brain doesn't go to stupid. Monkey juice. I mean, my brain has a lot of levels, but stupid ain't one of them. So no, I won't be thinking of that. The Spanish flu is worse than COVID ever thought of being. And it only wiped out 80%. Certainly wouldn't wipe us all out. Every virus, man-made or not, there is an anomaly in the human genome that is immune to it, because that's how the race survives. God built that into our DNA. So nothing can take us out like that. Only people that think asteroids can turn planets into fireballs think shit like that.
Or that we were created by rocks slapping together.
Yeah. Fucking rocks. Look, it's two African lovemaking stones. Oh, they just look like fucking rocks to me.
Right. The earth is flat.
The earth is flat. What are you talking about?
Yeah, as far as you can see it is.
I can't believe you just said that out loud. Do you have a filter, Monkey Juice, that says, hey, don't say that? People will think you're a moron? You don't have one of those, do you?
Clearly. Because he sounds like a moron.
And Tanya says, true that. Ryan C. Padden says, message retracted. Well, I can't read it if you retract it, Ryan. Welcome to the show. Hey, can you believe these we're in a Republican place. Message retracted. I see what you did there. Fab Daddy says, he got sued by Dominion. Oh, and the pillow guy. Yeah. And that older lady, I forget her name. I know you're talking about the lawyer. Sydney something or other.
Yeah, anyway.
I can't remember her name either, Fab Daddy, but I know who you're talking about. And yeah, they lost a lot over the claim that they understood something about these machines that nobody was talking about. And they got screwed because of all of the Democrat judges sided with the other side, and they lost big time. And one of them even had to recant. I think the woman had to recant and, apologize or something like that. Must have been humiliating. Turns out they were right. They were right. And they're vindicated now. And then my pillow guy, poor guy. Imagine growing up, becoming a crackhead, clawing your way out of poverty and into the pillow billionaire, and then getting called a liar. I think he's doing okay, though.
Sidney Powell.
Sidney Powell, that's it.
Thank you, Amy.
Good girl. Good memory. Where am I at?
9:43.
Somehow jumped up to 11.
Yeah, it's because the chat's rolling.
Chat is rolling. It's a good Saturday night. Good Politi-tics, guys. And thank you, Monkey Juice and Fab Daddy, for coming in with your ways. Means a lot.
You're at Amy's comment at 9:43.
Amy says, pull your little muggy brain out of your little muggy ass and look around. Yeah. Amy says, Sidney Powell, thank you. Thank you very much.
And the shot was bullshit. It didn't do anything.
Monkey says, wow. Yeah, wow. Like, get a book or something, dude. Angela says, Monkey, then how come they've, the only people I know that has died to the shot, both my brother and my stepdad, within 3 weeks of each other, clots in their hearts, both of them. Yeah. You said that you personally knew 2 people that died. Did they have the shot? Muggy juice. And Amy says, yes, it did, Amanda. It's causing aggressive cancer and autoimmune diseases. I don't disagree.
Yeah, I sent it before I was finished typing. It didn't do anything as far as saving anybody, or it was making people sick and killing them.
Amanda says,
I know that part, Amy. It didn't protect you from COVID or save your life.
right. Amy says, exactly, Amanda. Angela says, polls are propaganda to try and sway people's opinions. Correct. That's why you don't read the polls. Read the people. They will tell you. Go look in yards when you drive down the road, see how many signs you see for candidates in your area, and that'll tell you who's winning in that area. Now, it's not a 1-to-1. When you vote, your vote doesn't go directly to count for the president. It's not how that works. Your vote goes to elect the people in your city, the senators and the statesmen and the mayor and all of that stuff. And their votes are tallied, and they go to position the people that are in the state, and their votes are tallied, and they vote in the electoral college, and the electoral college picks the president based on 2 acumens: popular vote, the count, the overall count, and what's best for the country. And then they pick the president. That's our system. That's how it works. So your vote doesn't actually count for the president, but it counts towards the president. It isn't a weird game we play, but that's the game that we play. But your vote does count. But polls can't tell you, because have you ever answered a poll? How many people are they asking? Dwight says the Bad Bunny halftime show was amazing. What did you think of it? I know you didn't watch that silly Kid Rock show. Yeah, I did, because Bad Bunny was moron. And anybody that thinks that was amazing was a moron, because you don't even know what he was saying.
Unless you're from Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Yeah, the numbers are in on that too, Dwight. They lost a massive amount of views the moment he started singing. And they all switched over to TPUSA, who broke every record in the book for streaming and television. Period. I hate to tell you, but that silly little Kid Rock show is going to be the stuff of legend in the next years to come. And let's just see if you ever hear of Bad Bunny again. If it was so great, why did he delete all of his social media accounts the next day? I can't believe you just said that. Angela says, dang, Jake, you said it as I was typing it with my thumbs. Right on. Fat Daddy says, have you heard about Tyler Robinson's trial for Charles' death? Tyler Robinson for Charlie Kirk's death. They are trying to kick the prosecutors off the case because his daughter attended the event.
So,
I imagine anybody who lived in that state's daughter was at that event.
I'll say all of the jury and all. Everybody there had somebody there, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's not a deal breaker. Matter of fact, that gives him more incentive to prosecute the guy, I would think.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to say, though.
Yeah, but that's the right thing to do. He killed a guy in cold blood. He needs to be executed, period.
Yeah, they're going to try to say conflict of interest.
These people, Why are you rooting for a murderer? It doesn't matter if Charlie Kirk was a Republican or a Democrat or good or bad. It doesn't matter if Charlie Robinson was the poster boy for whatever. Tyler. He killed somebody in cold blood in front of God and everybody, and there were children there. He deserves to be shot in the head immediately. Don't stop at go. Don't collect $200. Don't go straight to jail. Bang. You're done. Back to your maker. Why would you defend that? I don't mean you. I mean whoever's defending that. Bad Bunny sucks, says Hannah. He does. If he was so great, how come not one of the players knew who he was or what the lyrics to any of his songs were? Not one. How come when the cameras panned over the crowd that everybody was standing still looking confused rather than singing along and cheering like all other concerts look?
Like Kid Rock's concert.
Like Kid Rock's concert looked. Explain to me.
Or people in the audience at the Super Bowl watching the Turning Point halftime show on their phone.
Yeah, watching Turning Point on their phone at the Super Bowl. Why did the Turning Point USA thing get 20 million views on just social media? I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you're spitting CNN nonsense. I bet you don't even know what language that show was in. Be careful now.
Yep.
Understand that you're in a room full of people smarter than you, and don't say something stupid. Tanya says, absolutely. Monkey Juice says, Bad Bunny does suck. He does suck. We agree.
Bad Bunny's gay.
Bad Bunny is gay. Amy says, polls are biased. Let's ask 50 people and say the results reflect the views of the entire country. Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, when have you been answering polls? Did you ever answer one? Well, then it doesn't represent your views, does it? Fab Daddy says, in my polling place, the counting is overseen by all parties. It should be. Except in 2020 when they had boarded up windows and wouldn't let the pollsters go in and watch. Wonder why they did that.
And blamed it on COVID.
And also had pipes burst in counties where the vote suddenly fell in favor of Biden by accident somehow. They're called marshals, and they're allowed to come in and watch the vote count. Both parties are supposed to have marshals in the room watching the count. They didn't allow that in 2020. Why? Think about what you're saying.
And blamed it on COVID.
It don't matter in California because that's not who decides who the president is. It matters in swing states where the cheating happened. Amy says, Jake needs a cup of coffee. Darn.
Damn.
My buzz is wearing off. Take more pills. Quickly. Fab Daddy says, puff, puff, pass, puff, puff, pass. Right on. Amanda can play that game tonight. She had a Valentine's Day. Amy says, I guess I'll take another half of my pain pills. Ooh, gives me chills thinking about it. Whew. Old addict here. I still get flashbacks. Amanda says, because Laura Trump made a group of people to protect the polls that were supposed to be there voluntarily. Yeah. That's why they didn't win in 2024, by the way. Or whenever. Yeah, 24. I don't know if you understand that or not. But because of the shenanigans in 2020, the next time we elected a president, they couldn't cheat. They couldn't cheat because everybody was watching them like hawks because of the shit they pulled off in 2020. That's why. And that's why Trump won immediately. And also, every state in the union trended Republican. The entire map turned red, except for a few little blue dots in the cities. Think about that for a minute. That's evidence that what they did in 2020 was not correct. Because people hadn't changed that much in 4 years. Tanya says, It was always like that. If you are 50, you know. I do. If you didn't watch it because you could pretty much know before going to bed and wake up, and we knew who our new president was. Yes, it's always been that way. It wasn't that way in 2020 though. At 4:30 in the morning, they shut the polls down and everybody went to bed. Or at 2:30, and at 4:30, boom, Biden jumped up above Trump while everybody was sleeping. And in the morning, he was president. Everybody went to bed thinking that Trump would be president. They woke up to Biden being president. They cheated. Hannah says, I didn't see the Super Bowl because we were visiting my daddy. But I watched the halftime show on YouTube with Mama, and it was bleh. Yes, it was. And also, I don't know if you paid attention or not, nobody in the audience could see anything because of all those trees in the way. People were down in the trees, and they were filming it for TV. So TV got to see it, but the people at the Super Bowl were like, what the hell's going on? All they could do was hear bully bucka laka mucka lika bucka luka bucka booga laka yika laka booga laka That's it. That's all you could hear. How you like my rendition of Bad Bunny? It's just about as good, ain't it? Monkey says, yeah, the pillow guy tried to prove Dominion machines are bogus. He got sued for millions. Yeah, but he was correct. That's the problem. Yes, he lost because of the Democrat judges, not because he was wrong. It turns out he was absolutely right. And his proof was solid. So would Sidney Powell. Fab Daddy says, one problem with that, Jake. Oh, yeah? How about soldiers overseas? Their votes should count. That's why we have mail-in ballots for soldiers overseas and people that are invalid and can't get out of bed and go vote. That's what those are for. And they are already legal for that reason. They do vote overseas. They send their ballot in and get counted. There is no problem with that. That's a special count out. Like I said, your vote does not make the president win. Your vote makes the people in your county win. And their vote makes the people in the state win. And their vote makes the people at the Electoral College win. And their vote makes the president win. So it's trickle up. But mail-in ballots can be sent a couple of weeks prior to the voting day. So everybody gets their mail-in ballot and they send it in. And then it gets added in with the votes that are tallied on that day. See how that works? It's very easy to do. That's not a problem at all, Monkey Juice. I mean, Fab Daddy, sorry. Judy says, hey, Monkey. Hey, Monkey. Sorry. Monkey says, I'm just lost for words. Yeah, I know. That's typical of morons. Hard to find a thing to say when you're outsmarted in every way.
Amy nailed it, though.
Amy says, obviously not monkey fluid, because you're still spewing monkey shit.
Damn it, man.
Damn, monkey. You walked into a bowling alley today, didn't you? Angela says, the Mar-a-Lago raid was proven illegal as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Fabricated evidence for the warrant.
Every single thing that the Democrats have done since Bill Clinton was in office has been illegal and has been against the country. They should all be arrested for treason. All of them. The power players. You know who I'm talking about. I said it. Monkey Juice says Dominion went through the courts and there was no evidence. No. They did not. They went through a court and then it was thrown out. That's not the same thing as going through the courts. They didn't go to the Supreme Court. They didn't actually have their shit investigated. Because if they'd have allowed that, the people, by the way, that own that are the same people that own, what is the Media Matters. Same group of people. If you can't see it, you ain't looking. You're like a horse with blinders on.
He's blind in one eye and can't see out the other.
And can't hear out either one of them.
Nope.
Tanya says, Fab, you are correct. They should let them vote earlier. That's what they do. We know they can figure it out, but that would stop the cheating, and they will find a way. Well, that's why they don't want IDs, voter IDs, because if you got voter IDs, you can't cheat. You know who's voting, and they are who they say they are.
And,
Everybody with common sense wants voter IDs.
and yes, Angela, it was.
What was?
The Mar-a-Lago was bullshit.
Angela says, dang, Amy, get rid of your cranium. Tanya says, absolutely correct. Crackle. Right on.
Crackle face.
Cackle face.
Face.
Cackle face McGee.
Yeah, when you talk about Harris.
Yeah, Kamala Harris. Cackle face Kamala. That woman annoys me to no end. When I hear her voice, I get the ick, as the young people say. She's all hat and no cap. Wait, what? Amy says, ironic that fake Chi made a prediction about a worldwide epidemic, held a forum about it, and it happened just before an election.
That's what I was talking about. The video was leaked where him and Gates were gonna manufacture it just to sabotage Trump.
Yes.
It's a leaked video.
Look into, let me see if I can remember what it's called. Project 209, I think is what it's called. I think that's what it is. Project 209. It happened in 1999. It was the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They did war games in New York City about a pandemic. Look it up. I think it's Project 209 or something like that. Project something. Anyway, look it up.
It was called the what?
I think it's Project 209 or something similar to that. I can't remember. It's been years. I was looking at it back in 1999. But they ran war games where they played out the scenario of a pandemic worldwide, and everything that they came up with to handle it is exactly what happened during COVID a couple of years later. Also, go look at COVID-19. First of all, get out your pledge bottle, or your Lysol bottle, and read the bottom label. COVID-19 has been there since the 80s, right there on that bottle, so it's not a new thing. And in 1999, somebody, Bill Gates, pulled a patent out on COVID-19. So it is a man-made virus that can be patented and sold and bought. And they were manufacturing it in the plant in China, Wuhan, China. Not racist to think so. That's exactly what it was. And it got out mysteriously. No pangolin involved.
I think it's DEFCON 1 and
No.
yeah. Talking about a pandemic war game.
DEFCON 1 is a series of DEFCON. DEFCON is a scale that the government uses to rate severity of a problem. DEFCON 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Because the other thing you're talking about is not what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's Project something. Project 209 or... I said it the other night, but I can't remember what it is now. Somebody in the audience will know. Angela says, same with changing the law to try and convict Trump with a felony. The Dems thought if he was a felon for their BS, then he would lose votes. And he got more. Smiley face. Yeah.
Project 209.
That's what I said.
No, you said 109.
No, I didn't. Go back and read the tape. I saw it. Stenographer, pull it up.
Or 201.
I said 209. I might have said 201.
You said 201 because I got it right here where I searched it.
But that's what it is.
It's
Something like
Project
that.
209.
There you go. All right. So Project 209, look that up. I'm full of information. I just can't remember half of it. which is why they don't take care of me, because they know I can't remember. But yeah, they changed the law for 1 year just to try Trump as a felon, because what he did was not a felony. What he did was nothing. He didn't even do it. His accountant did it. And they changed the law so that they could prosecute him. And as soon as they did, they changed the law back. Because everybody's guilty of it. That's why. They only prosecuted one person in history with that law. And that was Trump. And that's enough right there. You don't want me to believe it was a legitimate lawsuit. But then when you find out that it was 34 counts of the exact same thing in 34 places, like a spreadsheet with 34 boxes, and it's just checked off. It's the same crime. They counted it 34 times. One crime, 34 counts. That is not a crime. And what the crime was, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact details, but basically, they took the idea of giving a hooker money to keep her mouth shut and wrote it down as an expense. Rather than putting out the dirty details in the ledger, they just wrote expense. That's basically what it was that he got tried for. And he won. He did not go to jail over that. He did not continue that trial to fruition. So that's a win. And also bullshit.
Right. The bullshit charge.
And yeah. The day that they arrested him, I don't know how he did this. Trump is a genius. But while they were taking his picture, when they were checking him into jail, while the ink was wet on the photograph, they had that shit on T-shirts and was selling it.
Right.
I don't know how they even got the picture out of the jail cell or out of the camera, for that matter. But he had that exact mugshot on T-shirts selling it. Brilliant. Then he set out and made some golden shoes and sold those. And everybody bought them for like $500 a pair. Smart. And he's got a line of guitars too. I would never own one, but he's got them. Richard says, Amy, it went through the courts many times. There was no proof of wrongdoings. What are you talking about? No, you keep relying on this proof thing as if you're saying something, but when you got Democrats involved, they're just shutting it down. That doesn't mean that there's no proof. That just means that they're getting away with it. Bill Bennett says, we can unite. Not as long as some of us think like that. Amy says the justice system is a joke. It always has been. Correct. And Tanya says, me either. I do my own research.
Right.
Right. As far as watching the news, yeah, I get tired of yelling at the TV, so I don't watch the news anymore. I used to watch it all. Fox and CNN and MSNBC and C-SPAN and all that. And it got so bad that I was constantly screaming at the TV, and I got tired of that, so I just shut it off. Now I just watch the videos of the events that happen and make up my own mind. And then I listen to a group of people that I trust parse it out and talk about the details, and I formulate an opinion based on those things. And that's a group of diverse people. There's very different groups of people in that list that I listen to. Hannah says, okay, well, I'm going to play Satisfactory. I'll give the phone back to Mama. Bye, Jake and Amanda and everyone. Bye, Hannah. Have a good time playing Satisfactory. We love you. Happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you have a good day and night. And hello, Mabel. Welcome back to the mayhem. Welcome to the Hyperbowl. Yeah. Amy says, funny, you're talking about courts on that point, knowing the system is corrupt. Yeah, when it's in his favor, he'll use that defense. The system is corrupt. Yeah, I know, but you were just relying on it a minute ago. Well, back then I meant it. That brain can't do math. Amanda says.
Night, Hannah. Have fun.
Debbie says, AI will never be smarter than humans because AI can't reason. And they don't have empathy.
And they can't get away from a cup of water.
And they can't survive a cup of water. Amy says, welcome, Tanya. Please like and subscribe. I think she did, according to Amanda.
Yeah, she did.
Tanya says, me too. Amy says, have you seen some of the humans lately? I have, and they're creepy. Monkey says, Bad Bunny sucks. He does. Amy says, the education system has been failing for years. People are not getting smarter. No, they are not. It's actually kind of sad watching our young people. I can't believe they are who they are. If you'd have told me that was going to happen when I was a kid, I would have called you a liar because I believed in the education system. I went to college. And I thought that was what you had to do to be enlightened. It changed drastically. And it means something else now. Now, enlightened means you have a degree in gender studies or lesbian basket weaving or something like that. But they are not getting smarter. Homeschool your kids if you have any.
Transgender mice.
Tanya says, hi, Amy, I did like. I was listening and watching first, but I'm going to subscribe because I want to hear one of his teachings. Please do, and you're welcome to any of them. I have over 1,000 videos from the past, or you can join me with a new one tomorrow night. And welcome, by the way. Debbie says, well, you got me there, Amy. There are humans that can't reason. This is true.
Yeah, we have a couple of them in here.
Yeah. Hi, Monkey.
Hi, Fab. Hi, Monkey.
Angela says, Dwight, I didn't watch any of it until the next day. I did not watch hypersexualized people sing in a mumbled language I can't comprehend. Seemed ignorant to do, in my opinion.
Yep.
I agree. I did, however, watch the TPUSA concert, and it was short, sweet, and fabulous, and wholesome. And you could bring your whole family to it and not worry about F-bombs being dropped.
And you can understand every word.
Yeah.
And didn't have asses and boobs hanging out all over the place.
And trees.
Yeah, and trees. Just beautiful laser lights.
And Monkey says, that's right, Gabby Daddy. Trump needed more than Georgia to win the election. Georgia was irrelevant. Explain that to the FBI, who is currently raiding them as we speak, basically. You think whatever you want to think, Monkey Juice. You're wrong, and the world knows you're wrong, and pretty soon all of the evidence will prove that you're wrong. But you can believe what you want to believe. It just won't have the sway that you think it does.
And then when you realize that we were right, we'll be like, sorry about your luck, but told you so.
Tanya says, smiley, smiley. And Mabel says, and I'm back. Somebody's been watching my videos. And I'm back. Ciao again. Nice to see you. Amy says, he's not smoking cigarettes. He identifies as a chimney.
Right.
Bill Bennett says, free will for now. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. That's right.
Welcome back, Mabel.
And welcome back.
What it is.
What it is, what it is. What's happening, brother? He says, hello, Jake and Amanda, and to all in this live. Nice to see you, buddy. Join the fray. Angela says, he smokes because he wants to. What business is it of yours? I quit smoking back in September. Congratulations. That's excellent. Proud of you.
What it is, hamburger helper hand.
People ask me all the time, why don't you just quit them old nasty things? I said, because my mama didn't raise no quitter. Angela says, what it is. Heart. Happy Valentine's Day. For a little while longer. Tanya says, Richard, I agree. I don't know, Bunny, but I saw clips. Awful. Don't understand the hype.
Right.
The hype is manufactured. None of it's real. He did not deserve to be there. He got picked to be there because of an agenda. Because they're pushing an agenda on America. And he fits the bill. I can think of probably 10 artists that are more apt to be a great Super Bowl pick than that. Right off the top of my head if I really wanted to. But they don't fit the message.
Right.
The message.
They don't step on the American pastime, which is known as football, by doing it in Spanish.
Or burn the American flag.
Right.
Or talk about taking over the country with all those other flags. That's what it read to me, like a takeover, like an invasion. Nothing stronger than hate but love. Look at all these flags that aren't American. You're going to take it and like it. And we'll all be on welfare. Because it said that. We accept EBT in that little storefront he had behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't miss it. I saw it. Angela says, I think the Democratic Party is about to fracture. I hope so anyway. It looks like it, don't it? There's a lot of people hanging on to shit that is proven false.
Mm-hmm. And Monkey approves the Democrats are cheaters and liars and do anything they can to get what they want.
Except be truthful and honest. Trump still lost the Electoral College. Georgia didn't matter. Incorrect. He won the Electoral College. The only reason Biden won is because of popular vote. No, Trump actually won the Electoral College. And remember, I told you there were two things that they look at for the president. One is the popular vote, and the other is votes tallied. He did not lose the 2020 election. It was stolen from him in the middle of the night. He was on track to win, and indeed would have had they not cheated. And how did they cheat? Because they counted the fake ballots in Fulton. So Georgia does matter. And it'll matter when the heads start rolling because they cheated. Wait and see. They're in Congress talking about it right now this week. Tanya says they are going to control everything no matter what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to try to.
They're going to try to. Exactly. Angela says, exactly. And Amanda says,
no, Monkey, he won it too.
What it is says everybody else is just complaining. If you want change, vote.
Right.
Unless your vote is coerced by cheaters. Exactly. Angela says, I'm number 2 now. Yay.
That means you talk a lot.
Tanya says, right. Mabel says, she is too much sometimes. She hands me the phone and says, adults are dumb, and scrunches her face. I don't think she is interested in politics at all. That's probably a good thing. It's all right with me.
That's classic.
Angela says COVID was for multiple reasons. I agree. Along with, I think it was a type for the mark of the beast. I don't think it was the mark of the beast, but I think it was that kind of thing. And I've said that before. It was definitely to see if you would go for it. And you did.
Yep. See how many would conform.
And that's bad. I personally would have thought more people would have resisted. And you know, I thought more people had common sense. Turns out, most people are just scared.
Oh, yeah. Just scare them with death, and they'll do anything you want them to.
Just about it, yeah. You know there are people still walking around today with masks on?
Gloves,
I see them every day.
Driving in the car by themselves with masks on.
And I'm like, you have read the news, right? COVID's not a thing anymore. Why are you wearing a mask? The mask didn't work in the first place. I like it, though, because at least I can see him at a glance who's crazy and I don't need to be around. I can scan the room and go, okay, there's people I don't need to touch, there's people I don't need to talk to, and there's people I don't need to be around. Good. I know where to go. Tanya says, like I'm going to the polls, right?
I like going to the polls, she said.
Oh, I like going to the polls. Oh, yeah, different polls. We're talking about the polls that they tabulate, like Rasputin and Associated Press and things like that.
Mabel says the phone. I speak no English. I no speak English.
I know speaking English. Amy says ballot harvesting. Oh yeah, if you give mail-in ballots to everybody, that's what happens. And they did a fair amount of that too. They cheated in every way they could. And you know, Fulton County was just one thing, but it was the big thing. It was the deciding thing. They had other forms of cheating going on at the same time. And Monkey says, wow, Jake's behind. I am not behind. You're ahead. I'm right where I'm supposed to be in the chat as I go.
Only an hour.
Yeah. When it gets to midnight, I'm cutting it off anyway, so get your barbs in right now. Amy says, Amanda likes Jake's behind.
Right.
So do you. Don't lie. Tanya says, I'm old school. I started voting at 19. It has changed so much. 1984, I think. Right? Fab Daddy says 2 and 5. Stay hydrated and be kind and hit that like button. You leaving us already, Fab Daddy? No great argument? And I thought you would throw something at me tonight. Come on now.
Night, Fab.
Have a good night and happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a good day, buddy. Sorry. My voice is crapping out on me. I had to quit earlier tonight.
I might have to just scan through it.
Amy says, Fab, I am hydrated from IV bag at the hospital today. Wait, no, you went to the hospital. Mabel says, good night, Fab Daddy. And Tanya says, it was the vaccine. Monkey Juice says, oh, take Georgia. You still lost with it. I didn't lose. I didn't lose at all. I won. Because you got caught cheating. And I get to talk about it for the next 4 years. While Trump is in office again because you screwed up. You're welcome. Angela says, Lamau, who is this guy with the Trump derangement syndrome? Does he realize we have the most facts here? We have been awake this whole time, not woke. Right. Angela, this guy's monkey juice, and he thinks he knows a thing. He's probably from California or somewhere close by. He hasn't been outside in a while to see real grass.
Monkeys in Florida.
Is he?
Yeah.
But he's really a shut-in then, because it's a different group in Florida. Really, go outside for a while. Have you met DeSantis? Caught me by surprise. I stand corrected. He's not Californian. Florida fornication.
I don't think he's from Florida, though.
Amy says, good night, Fab. See you at Bible study tomorrow. Tanya says, and insurance and other groups for more money if someone died. That's another reason why they did the COVID thing, yes. There are all kinds of incentives in the medical industry for COVID handed down by our Democratic government, and they fell for it. And what it is says, so in 2 years, where do you see America, Jake? For the better or not getting better with taxes getting out or getting cut back and manufacturing and tariffs being spread around? Where do I see America in the next 2 years? Slightly better than it is now. I don't see it a big wave. I don't think that's possible. There's a lot of damage to cover. They screwed this world up in 4 years, almost unrecognizable. We came that close to losing this country. I mean that close. If Kamala Harris would have been voted in, this country would have been over. Period. I don't know if you know it or not, but our enemies, the only thing they hate worse than our freedom is women. And a cackling one at that? Oh no. Foreign policy would have been a bad day. That's all I'm saying. I think it's going to be slightly better. I think gas will drop. I think prices will drop to some degree. I think more people will be making money in certain areas. If you're wealthy already, you're going to be doing super. If you're poor, you'll be doing slightly better than you were before. And Trump will leave office because it's the end of his term, and J.D. Vance will get voted in, and that'll be that. Unless, of course, this whole cheating thing blows up in their faces and they write a law that allows Trump to take his term that is rightfully his at the end of this one, which is funny, and 10% probable. Tanya says, that's true. Mabel says, like Vic said, the only way to fix the effing mess is to bring lobotomies back. I don't know about that. That's kind of a scary time. How about that 11K votes he asked for? Asked and answered, Monkey Juice. Scroll up and read or listen. What it is, says Monkey Juice. Why don't you find out how to get on the city council and start your political career by being a public servant and then grow from there? Maybe run for mayor and then go for a district rep. Right? You seem to be gullible enough to be a politician. You'll believe anything. They want people just like you, so go. You have a good shot at it. Angela says, it's weird. We knew all this when it happened, and they called us conspiracy theorists. When really, we were just researching everything and not believing anything we were told, so we knew the facts. Agreed? Yeah, I haven't learned anything that I didn't know already instinctively when it first occurred, except for maybe some of the details of how they did it. But as far as what it was and what I could expect and what I was willing to do, I was right from the get-go. And so were a lot of people. We got called evil for that. Tanya says, what unalived everyone was the vaccine. They got sick. And yes, I know 3, so they said yes. Amy says, decapitated motorcyclist dies from COVID. Exactly. A lot of that in this country. Cancer, not a thing. The flu, not a thing. Lung disease, not a thing. Pancreatic cancer, not a thing. Colonoscopy, not a thing. Everything was COVID. They should have made a COVID roulette wheel. We'd all be rich. And Tanya says, amen and thank you, Jesus. I'll never perish. I have eternal life with my Father in heaven. Amen to that. You do that.
And yes, my brother died from a brain aneurysm, and the doctor report said that it was a brain aneurysm, and the autopsy said COVID and a brain aneurysm. But he didn't have COVID.
Right. Tanya says, so true, Angela. Debbie says, Jake is correct. The death toll did not significantly rise during COVID, but cancer and car wrecks, etc., deaths were non-existent. Exactly. Seemed like everything was about COVID. But if you look at the actual overall death tolls, they did not spike during those years. Not by much. Maybe a couple of percent. Not by much enough to be alarmed about. But if you listen to the news, they were dropping like flies everywhere. I remember they had a counter on one of the news channels I was watching, and it was in the thousands and ticking like every second, like that was people counting dead bodies. Never saw anything like that. A lot of rumors, a lot of innuendos, a lot of nonsense. No evidence. Aaron says, I didn't know you had a brother. I guess you're talking about Amanda. She has a few. And Amy says, the doctor said on live TV if they die from another issue but were positive for COVID, it was counted as COVID death. Yeah, no comorbidities were counted as death. It was all COVID.
I have 4 blood brothers and 4 adopted brothers, Aaron.
Yep. Angela says, facts from the CDC. Can't even tell I ever existed. I had some great photos in there, too. You were in the CDC? What are you talking about? Great photos of what? What are you talking about, Angela? Tanya says, I did. Thumbs up. What it is says, Monkey Juice, can't you agree with something in this live for once, even if you're wrong?
No, he agrees that Bad Bunny sucked.
Yeah, he does agree with that. And thank you for the high five and the 100 jewels, Angela. Monkey Juice says, Dominion sued the pillow guy and won millions. Fact, yes, because of a Democrat judge who dismissed the case. Tanya says, people didn't die of COVID. They died during COVID. No shots for me either. Right on. Good for you. Good for standing your ground. The day I heard that on TV, that they were going to mandate shots, that day I said, ain't nobody. See, the funny thing is, I would have been the first one in line to get the shot until they said I had to have it. And that's when I was like, nope, I don't like people telling me what to do. And then I started thinking about it because it ain't normal to force people into something like that. And then once I started thinking about it, it was over because it wasn't logical. And I'm a very logical man. All right, Amanda, come read the chat for a minute. I got to go handle some business.
You would say that as soon as I pop a peppermint in my mouth.
Take it out. I'll be right back.
Amy says, my condolences, Amanda. Monkey says, your evidence of voter fraud. Welcome, well documented. No, there was a lot of voter fraud. I said, thank you, Amy. And Mark Chocolate, B5U, hello from Mississippi. What are you talking about now, Monkey? Judy says, bye, Hannah. It was, at least the parts I saw were. Amy says, dying with it, and from it, they counted both to inflate the numbers. Remember, the death ticker was on CNN. Yeah, that's what Jake was just talking about. And hi, Mark, welcome. Hold on, my chat jump. Angela says, my private practice doctor never once mentioned the COVID vax to me, but then he didn't have a board of investors to make extra money for it. Right. They were all getting paid to push the COVID vaccine anyway. Tanya says, I never wore the mask except at doctor's offices. When I went with someone, they tell me to put on the mask. I said I have health issues and can't wear it, and they left me alone. Yeah, I didn't wear one either. Jake didn't wear one either unless he was forced to. DJDI whatever Zolv 4595 STASI whatever that is. Hi, welcome. Tanya says Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
1014. Amy says, Tanya, my respiratory therapist told me not to wear one either. Angela says, me either, Tanya, and I didn't wear them in a store either. They told me to leave. I would not go back, right?
That's right. Judy says, right, Bill. Aaron says, buckle up. It gets my snacks. Buckles up and gets my snacks. You getting ready for a good time there, Aaron? Judy says, bye, Hannah. Tanya says, yes, it's not good for us, Angela. Bill says, good night, all prayers.
Night,
Bill, God bless you, buddy. Thank you for being here.
Night, Bill.
Amy says, can I be a buckle, Aaron?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
She wants to be a lap belt, Aaron.
Aaron's like, well, strap me in and call me Sally.
Strap me in and call me something.
Angela says, I lost both my brother and my stepdad, and they got their shots on the same day. And they thought because my stepdad was so old that they should do it, and they died from blood clots in their hearts 3 weeks apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that, too, because if you're that old That's when you need to have a vaccine of something. When you're younger, you can afford that. Your body can take it. When you're old, you can't fight things like that. So a lot of people fell to that suggestion. Turns out that was a bad suggestion from the Fauchster. He shouldn't have been making suggestions like that. A lot of his stuff was very non-scientific. Unfortunately. I'm sorry for your loss, by the way. But as I said earlier, every human being that has ever lived or ever will live is going to die. Life is 100% fatal. So don't take it personally. It's going to happen to all of us at some point. All you're doing is prolonging the inevitable as long as you can. But inevitable it is. It's coming. That's why you should live every moment like it's your last. Live like you were dying. Ride a bull and jump out of an airplane and whatever nonsense that song. That will get you a lot further in life than listening to Fauci and the CDC. Listen to Tim McGraw. You're welcome. Tanya says, yes, Amy, I agree. That part. Aaron says, of course. Of course. Judy says, hey, Mabel. Debbie says, Trump did not listen to them instead of Fauci, and that's hindsight. Right, well, he didn't know. Fauci was an institution when he got elected. He thought he was the guy. He didn't know. I don't blame him for that. I didn't know. Turns out, Fauci was involved in the AIDS pandemic back in the 80s. Turns out, he did some pretty shady things then, too. Do your research. Find out that was fake also. Do you remember the AIDS epidemic? And do you remember? Don't step on spit on the sidewalk or you might get AIDS. Watch where you sit down in the toilet seat and that sort of thing. Don't kiss. You remember all that? That was Fauci. You remember the AZO drug? That was Fauci. The thing that was worse than AIDS, that most people that took it died from, that was Fauci.
The only one that didn't take it is Magic Johnson. The only one still alive is Magic Johnson.
Angela says, why did so many countries stop giving the shots? Because they all found out it was bullshit. That's why.
Mm-hmm. They realized that was killing everybody.
It's one thing to fall for a trick. It's another thing to keep believing it after you start to see that it ain't what it said it was. Which is where Monkey Juice is right now. Even when he sees that it didn't turn out the way they promised it would, he still believes the lie. I can't do that. My brain is logical. It doesn't work that way. Amy says, I still see people wearing them in their cars, masks, usually in a Subaru or a Saab.
Alone.
I told you Subarus were for lesbians. She didn't believe me. Angela says, I'm number one. Yay. You're also the only person that keeps up with that score. You and Lady B. Angela says, me too, Amy. Tanya says, yes, you are right. I usually am. I'm just kidding. I usually think I am. That's more accurate. Judy says, too funny, Mabel. She's probably right. Yep. Old people are stupid. We got a lot to think about, though. She'll get there. Angela says, LOL, my brain doesn't go to stupid either. That cracked me up. Thank you, I try. Folks, I'm leaning into the madness. I don't mean to be arrogant or angry or anything like that. I'm just trying to put on a good show, and I hope you're enjoying it. At Monkey Juice's expense. I hope you're enjoying it too, Monkey Juice. Judy says, good night, Fab. Monkey Juice says, Banhammer, Florida's starting to heat up. It's beautiful weather. She's like, yeah, I remember. Aaron says, yep, standing in the weather. I didn't realize you were from Florida. I apologize for that statement. I didn't mean to call you a Califloridiot. I didn't mean to call you a Californicator. Instead, you're a Floridiot.
Right. hold on a second, Jake. Debbie, you talking about Trump did not listen to them instead of Fauci? That's the hindsight. Yeah, he read that one. That's what he said was he listened to Fauci because Fauci was in and he trusted him at the time. He didn't know any better.
Did I miss something?
No, Debbie thought she did.
No, I didn't. Debbie says Fauci even wrote a paper on the Spanish flu that stated towards the end people were no longer dying from the flu, but from the bacterial infections caused by wearing a mask. Think about that.
Right. Good, Monkey. I don't miss Florida at all. It's getting nice here, too, in the 60s during the day.
Tanya says yes. And Aaron says yep with Jake. Sorry, my chat jumped.
You're at 10:22.
10:22.
Oh, because I don't think that one showed up, Debbie. Hold on. Debbie said, the frontline doctors went to Congress and spoke about how he treated thousands of patients between them all with some comorbidities, and no one died.
Comorbidity.
Comorbidity, and no one died. They were canceled after that. Too bad. Then Jake read the second part.
Yeah, I didn't see that part.
The
I
first
apologize.
part didn't post.
Michael Caccone says, and they try to tell people how to think just because you sell friggin' pillows. And they try to tell people how to think just because you sell friggin' pillows. Right. Welcome, Michael. Tanya says, I like him, Lindell. I do too. He's a little weird, but I like him. Anybody that's brave enough to sell pillows and not look gay, he's got my vote. And Shooty says, good night, Bill. Michael says, let me guess. You feel that if you don't speak the language, get out of the country. No, I feel if you don't speak the language, you ain't got no right to bitch. But if you're illegal, get out of the country. If you're going to come to America, you need to learn the language. That's what you do. You assimilate. Right? Look at all the people that changed their names when they moved to America from something Berg to just something or whatever. That's because they wanted to be here. They wanted to be part of the culture. The people that are coming into the country waving flags from the place they just came from, that don't make a lot of sense. If you love it so much, go back.
And burning the flag where they live?
Yeah. Come on, Michael. Use your brain. Tanya says Mike Lindell is pillow guy. Trump supporters, so they hate him now. I don't hate Mike Lindell. And I support Trump. It wasn't Lindell's fault. He got side railed. He was trying to do a good thing and he didn't know how to do it. He didn't put all of his ducks in a row before he tried to do it. Something like that. And they caught him because he wasn't prepared to play the game. Amy says, my condolences, Angel. My condolences, Angel. I can talk.
Yeah.
Michael says, don't sound like Navajo to me, bud. Yeah, that's because we conquered this country.
Right.
Bud. They're invading, but they're not conquering. If they conquer the country, we all need to learn to speak Spanish. They're not going to do that because we'd shoot them to death. Got it? Bud, use your brain. And I'm a Cree Indian, not a Navajo. If you're going to mislabel me, do it to my face. Isn't that something you guys believe in, getting the right pronouns? I'm Cree Indian. You just misraced me. And by the way, I sound more like an Indian than you do because I actually am one. So what are you talking about? Jesus Christ. These children don't have a clue what happened before the year 2000. How you think the Navajo got it? Or the people before them got it? They conquered. That's what nations do. Have you seen a map before? You ever taken a civics class? You know what a country is? How do you think it became a country, moron? None of that has anything to do with us here currently in this country, living in it as we live. We're not trying to conquer anybody else. They're not trying to conquer us. But we are trying to stave off psychos like yourself, socialists and commies. Richard says, yeah, I wish I was in North Carolina in June, July, and August for sure. Come on down. I'll put you up. We'll argue a lot, but come on. Amy says, he doesn't just sell pillows. He's got Egyptian cotton sheets. Ooh.
And
nice.
yes, this is America. If you can't speak English, you don't belong here.
Absolutely. Do you want to ride around looking at street signs that are both in English and in Spanish? Do you want your children to have to sign multi-language documents everywhere they go? No.
And Trump officiated English as the American language.
Do you want to have a culture to leave your grandchildren? It's that simple. See, the reason you can believe in your nonsense is because you're a child. When you start paying bills and actually owning things, you'll change your mind. When you have children that you want to see grow up and have a good life of their own, when you're the foundation of their future, you'll change your mind. Tanya says, exactly, Debbie, and I never wore one. I have lupus, many other health issues. I refuse to take it. It's never lupus. Have you seen Dr. House? Aaron says, don't wish, Juice. It just might do it. Don't wish, Juice might do it. I don't care. Come on. I'll get him out on the Harley and teach him a thing or two.
He said, don't wish, Juice, just do it.
Oh, just do it. Just come on up. I see. I got you. Ben David says, Shalom, Jake. Baruch Hashem Adonai. Assalamu alaikum. I don't know about that Baruch character, though. Debbie says, Michael, we don't speak Navajo because the English settlers won over the Navajo settlers. Get over it. Or not. That's on you.
Right.
You think the Alamo had anything to do with us not speaking Spanish?
And Ben Hamburger Helper Hand.
Angela says, I've never taken a poll. Neither have I. I can't think of a time.
We've had polls on here.
No, I'm talking about the kind of polls that they predict presidents from. Like Rasputin.
Right.
Reuters, that sort of thing. Reuters, not Rasputin. Rasputin is a Russian mystic. Reuters is a poll. Said the wrong R word. See? I got like CRS or something. Amy says, getting polled can be fun if you're with the right person.
Right.
Right? Amanda says, I get polled all the time.
Yeah.
Ben David says, I'm Puerto Rican. Well, you got the name of a Jew. Congratulations. Looks like you speak English. Do you know what language Bad Bunny was speaking? Because nobody else in here does. On that side. If they listen to me, they do. Tanya says, nope. I'd like to know who they're asking. They're asking a small group of Democrat college kids. That's how they get polls, mostly. College kids are people that live in suburban little areas. People that'll answer the phone and listen past, hello, I'm so-and-so from a poll click. Right? If you listen past that, that's who they poll. Hello, I am Steve from Michigan. Click. Debbie says, Aaron, clean up on aisle Amy.
Uh-oh.
Amy's aisle needs a cleanup. That's what she's saying. Ben David says, but I don't know about this funny bunny. Yeah, he's a weird character. Tanya says, everyone liked Kid Rock. Loved him. Kid Rock's show was awesome. And did you catch the last song he did under his own name? That was a different character. That wasn't Kid Rock. That was his real name, which just left me. Richard something.
Hey, Leo, I can fix that for you.
What is Kid Rock's real name?
William.
Nope.
It is. It's Bob something.
It's Robert Ritchie. That's
Ritchie,
it. Robert Ritchie. He did the last song under the name Robert Ritchie, so that's not Kid Rock. So that's a song he already had out, but he rewrote it for Charlie Kirk. And then he did it so it became a hit that night. So you're going to hear that song a lot more in the near future, and I think it's going to be a big hit song.
Bye-bye, Leo.
Who's Leo?
Somebody just got his ass kicked out.
Oh.
Who's next?
Judy says, me too, Tanya. And Tanya says, I can honestly say I've never ever heard of him. I'm old, I guess. Who, Bad Bunny? No, nobody's ever heard of him until the Super Bowl. And nobody's going to hear of him again. He's a one-trick pony. And Judy says, LOL, Tanya. I'll bet not as old as me. And Debbie says, Tanya, trust me. Judy's older. Tanya says, Judy, if he comes back to Atlanta, I'd like to go and don't think I could make it through the crowds trying to get around. Yeah, that would be tough. If you're talking about Kid Rock, it'd be a lot of people there. My guess is he'll be back to Atlanta at some point, though, because that's part of the East Coast route. They stop in Atlanta. Hey, everybody, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little bit of love. If you want to, you can do that. CashApp, $ Jake Johnson Band, or PayPal.me/Jake Johnson Band. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Judy says, hey, Debbie. Tanya says, amen, and agreed, and right. Amy says, note to new viewers, it takes Jake a while to get to all the comments. Add context, please, and hit the like button. Yeah, it will help me a lot if you tell me what we're talking about instead of saying things like, right, because I don't know what you're referring to. That happened an hour ago. So tell me what you're right about, or I'm right about, or what your comment is in reference to. That'll help a lot. Remember, I'm giving everybody even time and reading every comment as it happened. But it happened an hour ago in my mind, so I'm trying to keep up with conversations, at least 637 of them so far, as we go. So, brain is a little spazzed. Thank you, Amy. Michael says, still on about cheating, huh? No. We're actually talking about Bad Bunny at the moment. What are you on about? You came to my show. I didn't come to yours, so you come and join the conversation or shut the hell up. Tanya says, yes, and there wasn't any water, not enough to close it. I don't know. Jake needs a lobotomy. Well, I'd like for you to come give it to me. Come on. Anytime, any day, anywhere. You'll learn something about me that you did not know. In fact, you'll learn where you end and I begin. Because I will whip your ass like a red-headed stepchild you come near me with a sharp object. Believe that. Pain meds make me puke, says Angela. Pain meds, they have a weird effect on me. They make me want more pain meds.
That's why Jake don't mess with pain meds.
Right, Judy. Nobody made you come here, Michael. You came here of your own free will, so take it and shut up. Or join the conversation and be a cool person. Have a actual disagreement or an agreement. You ever tried that instead of just being a contrarian mouth? Aaron says, don't spam. Yeah, don't do that. Don't repeat yourself in case you don't know what spam means. No need to repeat yourself. I'm going to read every chat. You don't need to write it twice. I saw it the first time.
Unless it gets to midnight or his voice gives out, and then I'll finish it.
Right. Or if it gets to midnight, it's going to go. Because 4 hours and a half is enough. I used to do 6 and 8 hours. I'm not doing that anymore. It takes their life right out of me. I also have a full-time job and a woman that is needy.
Oh, you got room to talk there, mister.
So I don't have a lot of time on my hands.
You got a lot of room to talk there, mister.
Gimme.
Yeah, okay. We'll see about that.
Just checking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, your cup's full, ain't it?
You're right.
That's what I thought.
That's my line. That's what I thought. Amy says, right. I sometimes double post. I was waiting for his third. Yeah, well, that you do it by accident. He was doing it to be obnoxious. Judy says, right, Aaron. Monkey Juice says, okay, Jake. One side you're promoting Trump, Mr. Warp Speed, and the other side you're saying the COVID shot is shit. Which one is? Well, the COVID shot has nothing to do with Project Warp Speed, if you understand anything at all. Project Warp Speed was about getting a vaccination to manufacturing. You understand? They have to go through a process. They invent a thing, which means they have to study all kinds of things to come up with an antidote or a way around whatever thing they're studying. And then they have to patent the idea, and then they have to write peer review papers on it, and they have to submit it to other scientists, and they have to question it and falsify it, which is part of the scientific method. Then they have to put it in trials. So they start with the placebo trial, and then they move on to animal trials, and then they move on to human trials, and then they start a full-on medical trial. They take the placebo out little bits at the time. It takes 10 years to make that happen. 10 years. And at that point, once they're satisfied with the results, when the numbers are greater for good than bad, they go to market. And then it has to pass the FDA and the other organizations that regulate that sort of thing. It has to be mass produced and then put out on the market, which means it has to go to providers. And the providers have to get it out to the dispensaries, or in this case, where you get your medicine from. What's that thing called? Pharmacies. And doctors' offices and such. Project Warp Speed put all that in a little box and you could get it done in a month rather than 10 years. That's what that was about. Had nothing to do with the shot. The shot is ancillary. That's what they do with the product after they get it. See the difference? So I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth. You have a problem hearing and a brain that don't understand the science behind what you're talking about. See the difference?
You can't comprehend that a circle has no points.
Right. You also don't understand logic when you hear it clearly. Which one is it? If you had half the brain to understand anything I was saying, you would be impressed. But you can't even see that. Mabel says there weren't even fake trees.
Right.
They were just people in tree costumes. Oh, you're talking about the Bad Bunny? Yeah.
Retarded.
Ridiculous. The dancers, all the dancers looked like they had 3 days to rehearse that little scene. And they were all trying to remember what to do next.
What was the point? What was the theme? What was what? Apparently
it was get welfare and go buy something from that little store. Because that's all I saw was a bunch of people dancing in a cornfield, rice paddy field, and then out of nowhere there's a little corner store and a little restaurant booth.
It was rice and bananas.
Rice and bananas. That's what it was. Buy
Right.
rice and bananas on welfare.
Right. And screw doggy style.
Booka laka booka laka shika laka maka laka
Got it.
I'm gonna make an album. It's gonna be called Bad Funny.
Bad funny. Funny bad. Monkey says, please. Wow.
Aaron says, Tubaluka laka baka laka Got it. Yeah. Richard says, please. Ben David says, you nailed it, Jake.
Right.
Thank you very much. See, Monkey Juice? That's how you talk to me.
Angela said the same thing. Aye.
You go, Angela. Me, you, and Aaron's going to start a trio. Tanya says, Angela, me too. I take them, but can never take but half. Makes me nauseous. Makes me nauseous too, but I need them. I try to stick to the Motrin 800s. Well, that'll kill your liver. If you're going to take anything, take Oxycontin. Just be very careful on your doses, because the more you take, the more you want. You got to be a little strict on yourself, or else you'll be an addict, just like the rest of us.
Take Kratom.
That'll work too. Get you some Limitless Kratom. It's expensive, but it's better for you.
Way better.
Tanya says, yes, Mike Lindell, solid proof for sure.
Yeah.
Amy says, they gave me a pill for nausea too. Excellent. I forget what that pill's called, but I know what you're talking about. Judy says, I thought the trees were kind of cute. Yeah, but I didn't know what the hell they meant. What is it all about? What was the scene? They were in a cornfield? I don't get it. There was a truck. There was a little store. There was a few tables like the front of a restaurant. And a bunch of trees. And a dude in a white suit. Then a bunch of flags. People dancing everywhere like they were in a juke joint in the 50s. And some guy talking about banging his aunt. I don't get it. Aaron says, please, tuka buka luka Aaron says, I like it. The peacock dance, says Amy. Tuka buka luka peacock dance. Tanya says, Amy, I never thought about asking for them. I'm going to ask my doctor. Thank you for that. Judy says, what about antibiotics, Amy? Does she have a...
Oh, for her. Yeah, she got a kidney infection.
Okay. Does she have biotics? Got to get rid of those biotics. Can of Raid antibiotic. Aaron says, facts, Amy. Angela says, I have a high tolerance for pain. I can flip the meat over in a pan with my fingers. Sexy. I burn myself all the time, but the burns and blisters don't really hurt on my fingers at all. Scary. I have a high tolerance for pain too, but I also have a high tolerance for pain medication. So that is a deadly combination for me.
I was going to say, I flip the meat over all the time too.
Yeah, but it just hits my stomach. Sounds like a thwack though, like you're throwing a watermelon on a carpet. Angela says, no one even looked at the evidence. That was the problem. That Monkey Juice is raving on about. They didn't even look. They just shit canned the whole thing. And then they claimed that they won. You can't win when it's dismissed. It's not a win. That's a cheat. That's a not looking at the evidence. Amy says, I took my antibiotics too, Judy. Big old horse pill looking things. Tiny says, Amy, mine too. Huge. Mine too.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Judy says, just a tip. I'm sorry. Good, Amy. Debbie says, Amy, you need those strawberry drops to take that thing. Y'all saw that video too, huh? I think I sent that to people one time.
Yeah, you sent it to me and I sent it to them.
Right on. Yeah, baby. Tanya says, right? Oh, you'll get all kinds of things here, Tanya. You'll love it. Amy says, Gatorade works fine. So does spit, obviously enough. Tanya says, yes, smiley face. The heebie-jeebies. And Debbie says, 8-Ball, did Amanda get strawberry drops for Valentine's Day? 8-Ball says, never. She takes it dry and raw. She makes that sound. Tanya says, absolutely. It is on there. Right on. Gotta go. Have a good night, y'all. You said 201. Thank you. Good night, Tanya. Thank you for being here. Please join us tomorrow night. Bible study. Come on, sis. Amy says, Tanya, please come back for Bible study with us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here on Untethered Live. Right here. Same bat time, same bat channel. Amy, Amanda?
Night, Tanya.
Tanya says, I'll be back, everyone. Have a blessed night. As do you. Happy Valentine's Day. For 10 more minutes. 15 more minutes. Amanda?
LOL, Debbie. I got all kinds of chocolate. Strawberry drops are just a bonus.
Yeah. Judy says, bye, Tanya. Good talking to you. Tanya says, okay, Amy. I will be back for that. Can I ask if you allowed Jesus Christ, the only one true God of the Bible study? Well, it's Bible study, honey. That's who the book is about. Yes.
Yes, Tanya. We read the King James Version from cover to cover and explain it.
In depth. So, bring your thinking cap. That being said, you are going to hear things that you've never heard before. I promise you that. But come on.
She's probably gone already, but.
Amy says, Jesus is Lord. And Tanya says, thank you, Judy. It was nice meeting you guys. God bless. Prayers. Chins says, there are a lot of people stuck on stupid. Definitely. I concur, Doctor. Welcome, Chins. Or Chines, or however you say that. 7575. I like 1776, but 1975 works. It's a year after I was born. Tanya says, that's great, Amanda. I read from the King James. No one seems to. I've always read it 45 years. See you then. God bless. And right on.
Great. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Hope to see you there.
Judy says, God bless, Tanya. And Tanya says,
prayers.
That's not a prayer. I don't know what that is, but it's like a patty cakes. Yes. Patty cake, baker's man. Roll them over, throw them in the pan.
Laying hands, prayer. That's what people are saying they are.
I don't pray like that. A patty cake like that, though.
Yeah.
You want a patty cake?
Ooh, I'll patty your cake.
Patty cake.
10:51. Amy says,
night, y'all. I'm going to bed. See y'all tomorrow. Don't forget, feed Jake. That's wise words. Thank you, Amy. And good night, sweetheart. Sleep tight wherever you are. And take your meds. Drink lots of water. Don't sleep in the wet spot. Look both ways before you cross the street. Good night.
Lay on his side of the bed and put the wet spot on his side.
Judy says, good night, Amy.
Good night, Amy.
Angela says, it's all okay. God is in control. It gave Trump 4 years to build the blueprint he is building in front of us. Agreed. Tennessee Bubba back. Welcome. He says, Trump 2020 winner. Absolutely. Welcome back, Tennessee. Amanda.
Hi, Tennessee. Or Bubba Hamburger Helper Hand.
Judy says, right, Angel. Tennessee says, hi, Miss Amanda. Wavy hand. Judy says, hey, Bubba. Tennessee says, hi, Judy. Wavy hand. Angela says, I can't believe I'm still awake. I spent time outside in the yard. Gave me energy, I guess. Right on. Angela says, it's all God's plan. Yes, it is. And Judy says, yes, it is, Angela. Angela says, Judy, heart. Judy says, heart, Angela. Monkey Juice says, people wearing masks probably most definitely have underlying conditions like idiocy, moronicism, and lack of brain cells. Yes, you're right. Lack of oxygen to the brain. You're right. Like cancer. Cancer does not require you wear a mask. You are dying. Doesn't matter what you breathe. I'm sure it's not because of COVID. Oh, but it is. It's exactly because of COVID. Go ask them. Next time you see an idiot in a mask, knock on their window, and when they roll it down, say, why are you wearing a mask? See what they say. That's easy to solve. And Judy says, right, Jake? Brian Greenwood, welcome. He says, COVID is when I found out about Gabe owners. Gabe owners? What is a Gabe owner?
I think that's supposed to be gay owners, actually. But I don't know.
If it was about gay owners, why is there an E at the end of it? No, he meant Gabe.
Maybe.
I don't know what a Gabe owner is. I can't answer that. What about people that rent Gabes? Where am I at?
I don't know what time because my computer shut off.
Your computer shut off?
Yes.
Well, I don't know where I'm at.
I don't know what time it was. And I don't have timestamps on my phone for some reason.
You cannot let your computer shut off.
It just shut off on its own. If you give me a second, I'll get to it on the tablet.
I'll find it before then.
Probably, but I'll load it up on the tablet. That way I have it, just in case, because I can't get my computer up.
I'm at the at the prayer hands, Bubba. Gave energy, I guess. Because of COVID. I found it. Angela says exactly. Don't like being told what to do. That's a Gen X thing. I am Gen RX, but yes.
Yeah, 1111.
Me either, and I'm not Gen X, says Judy. But I don't have time to read all these that got booted.
Yeah, he got booted, so don't worry about it.
Tennessee says all COVID did was create billionaires. It killed a few people too, but mostly because of the shots. Said the terrorist.
Said by the terrorist. He was referring to Leo's comment that got deleted.
Oh, I see. Tennessee says, Leo, well said. Allah Akbar, or however you spell it. LOL. Ixnay on the Allah Akbar thing. God is good, but they got the wrong one. Tennessee says, amen to that. Jesus will break the chains. He'll do more than that. When he comes back, he's going to kick butt and take names and chew bubblegum, and he's fresh out of bubblegum. Says the Bible. Debbie says, Leo and Tennessee, you are both idiots. I don't know if Bubba is or not. Has he said something bad?
He was agreeing with Leo.
Don't agree with people that get booted. It's bad PR. I don't even know what he said, though, so I can't disagree. Whoever booted him thought he was saying some dumb shit. That's why he got booted. So I trust them. That's why they have the wrench or the badge.
I did it.
Okay. Tennessee says, I try my best, thanks. Right on. I don't mind that. Tennessee says, I agree. I don't know what you're agreeing to. Add context.
He's talking to Leo.
Debbie says, Leo, nice use of your word of the day calendar you got at Christmas.
Yeah.
The word of the day calendar?
Yeah.
Oh, I use mine all the time.
He called Debbie something, said Debbie was something.
I call mine a thesaurus.
Collaborationist or some shit.
Collaborationist?
Yeah, something. He called her.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
You collaborate a lot?
I don't know. He called her something. That's when I told him he better chill out. And then he told somebody to get out of here that us Americans were crazy.
Yeah. You can't tell people to get out of my chat. You're a guest here. Act like it. Riva Octavarius says, "Hi, I'm from Indonesia. Y'all make some cool guitars in Indonesia." Riva, I'm gonna call you Riva. Is that okay? Because I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, I like Indonesian guitars to some degree. I think y'all got a long way. Y'all have come a long way in the last 20 years. And Judy says, "LOL, Debbie." And Judy says, "Hi, Riva." Riva says, "Let me introduce myself. My name is Riva. Well, nice to meet you. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance." Judy says, "Welcome, Riva." Amanda says, "Riva, Hamburger Helper Hand, welcome." Riva says, "Where are you from, America?" Collectively. I mean, there's a few of us in other places, but mostly America.
North Carolina, USA here.
Right on. Judy says, "Wisconsin." Riva says, "Hello, Amanda. Where are you from?" "North Carolina." "I'm from Indonesia." Tennessee says, "I wouldn't answer that question, Amanda. Just my opinion, though." Well, she's not going to tell her where she's from, just a location general.
What question? I already said.
Debbie says, "8 Ball, is Amanda needy?" 8 Ball says, "That the answer to that isn't pretty." She's needy in the sheeties.
Jake programmed the 8 Ball. 8 Ball don't count, LOL.
Yep, I'm just sitting over here in my goody hoodie just watching it play out.
8 Ball, is Jake needy?
Yes.
8 Ball says, I don't think so. See? It's all lies.
That's my AI me. 8 Ball is the AI me. And it just says random things.
Debbie says, uh-oh, Amanda, 8 Ball is rigged, I tell you.
It's rigged.
Yeah, by Jake.
8 Ball cheated. And Judy says, "Riva AI? Probably." Tennessee says, "Yes." Judy says, "Wonderful. Have you met the other AI? Sophie?"
Don't talk it up now.
And Tennessee says, "Not really. Riva is monitoring conversations." Well, that's all right. They can monitor ahead on.
Monitoring for what?
Probably collecting data.
She ain't gonna collect nothing here.
Why would she do that, says Judy. Amanda says she's not. He's just talking.
Yeah.
Tennessee says, "To learn information about people so that the AI bots can better interact with people to gain useful information." I understand that. We have one of those.
Yeah.
And we placate her often and leave her confused because we're smarter than they are. In fact, she stopped coming so regularly, but if we say her name, she might pop up. So, Judy says, "I kind of wondered about that myself." Tennessee says, "They will tell you more about yourself than you want to know. And obviously other people." And Judy says, "That doesn't sound good." Motown 365 says, "Look a bit like Stephen King." Really? Not even close.
Mo, Hamburger Helper Hand.
Welcome to the show, Mo. Don't you know I look nothing like Stephen King? I mean, we both wear glasses and have gray hair, but that's it. And if you're calling me a Democrat, you haven't been listening.
He does think along Stephen King's lines sometimes, though.
Tennessee says, "It ain't really. I'd be careful about sharing personal information." We don't share personal information, Tennessee, but thank you for the insight. It might seem innocent, but it ain't. Nobody gets personal information here. We get general information. That's it. Hey, Mo. Hey, Mo. I can't do the high-pitched voice. I usually try to be, says Judy. I'm glad to hear that, says Tennessee. And Judy says, "Bye, y'all. My computer won't stop spooling." Spooling? Is your computer making a quilt? Or do you mean spinning? Either way, get that spooling under control. You don't need a spooling computer running around the house. Well, good night, and we love you, and happy Valentine's Day. Amanda?
Mine's acting up too.
You need a new computer.
Well,
Maybe we'll work on that next. Let's get the land taxes paid, and then we'll work on computers. Tennessee says, try restarting it. Debbie says, bottom of the chat. Woohoo. Is it?
yeah, woohoo.
Did
Bottom
it
of the
actually make it to the bottom?
Uniteders, I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for Bible study. Much love.
Did I skip a bunch?
Nope. When Leo got kicked out, it cleared a whole bunch. So.
Wow. I did make it. I thought I was going to have to cut it off halfway.
2 minutes to spare.
All right.
Woohoo.
There's 715 views tonight. Good job, everybody.
Nice.
And Judy says, good night, Bubba. And Debbie says, I just meant spooning. We should investigate that. And Judy meant spooning.
Uh-oh.
Right on.
Go, Judy.
At least it'll keep her warm at night.
Right.
Hard drive, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for getting politically with me. We'll see you tomorrow night for Bible study. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great night tonight. I hope you did too. I enjoyed the conversation and the sparring. It's important for people to hear both sides of an argument. Even if we disagree, they are paying attention and thinking. That's what we're here to do. Discord makes better arguments rise to the top, and bad arguments go away. Nobody's going to like Bad Bunny after this, I promise. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Good night.